we're live.
Yeah, we really should have called this stream There Was a Mail Here Once, but she's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
She like checked in to see if we wanted any new commission work, and then that was the last we heard of her all day long. And we're like, you coming? You gonna show up? And we canceled last stream. Bring you in. No luck.
Is she not online?
Nah, she was about an hour ago, but now she's gone, so maybe one of the kids fell down the stairs or something. Joy.
So,
can ask her all about Comic-Con and shit, but nope.
if gonna ask if she had any funny stories about people coming up to her and being like, "Hey, you're that lady who draws FNAF porn." She can be like, "Oh yeah, that's me."
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask her the same question, so. Damn.
Are there kids in the background? Cause like,
yeah, the fucking neighbor kids running around screaming like one of them got hit by a car or something.
you should go. Oh yeah, excuse me a sec. And he would just hear you get up from the desk and just hear.
Shut up, you little shits! No one's coming to help you.
Trying to wait for like, for some reason, whenever I have the YouTube link for the stream up on my. Whenever I click on it, it silences the Google Hangouts thing.
Not only that, but your microphone sounds like shit.
Ooh, me.
That's what happens when you get it. That's what happens when you get a Blue Yeti, folks. Works great for a couple weeks. Anyways, I guess we have no topics, so I'm gonna start bringing people in. Yay!
Okay.
This whole entire thing hedged on Mel, and now it's just shot the shit. Thanks, Mel. Is Wade online? Since he's going to be in the next video podcast, thought maybe.
Hang on, I'll check.
All right. Well, Big Chief was the first one who was on the YouTube chat, so he's the first one up. Hopefully he's got something interesting to talk about. Otherwise, we are fucked. Just wasting your Saturdays, folks. Just wasting your Saturdays. All right, Big Chief, you're up. Invitation is sent, as usual, via Patreon Messenger. So check your email, check Patreon, check however the hell you read the messages there. Nat, you there? Big Chief's here. I don't hear Nat anymore, though.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. It's going to be a shitty Saturday all around for everybody.
I don't know. Maybe.
Between me having no topics and Nat apparently cutting in and out because I can't hear her, and the energy you brought to the conversation already. Hey, how's it going?
No.
I'm here.
You're here?
Yeah.
Where the hell did you go?
I'm here. Oh, my internet's being stupid.
You're probably lagging pretty bad. That's why your quality's not so good.
Probably.
Hey, nobody comes to Cheshire Cat Studios for quality, okay?
That's true. That is true.
They come for the ego boosting circle jerk.
Yes. They come here for the echo chamber. Hey, these guys agree with me. I'm gonna listen to them for 5 minutes until they don't agree with me. Hey, it's that one channel that sounds exactly like everyone else on the internet. Except they have cartoon faces. Oh, so what's up, Big Chief?
Nothing too much.
Well, okay. See you later then.
Ka-ching,
My-
stamp out.
My dad's going to be a fight over inheritance for my uncle because he didn't have any kids, so now the cousins inherit, and it's actually in Maryland. At least that's where all of his property is. So it's going to be an out of country inheritance battle.
Oh joy.
Yeah, it should be fun. Should be marvelous. Oh,
Did I ever tell you guys the story of my Nazi great grandmother?
nope.
I think you might have, but maybe I just heard it.
I didn't hear it. That sounds interesting.
All right, so essentially, my great grandmother, who was born in Germany, and like was a child during like when the Nazis were taking over and stuff. She had my. Hang on a minute. What the fuck what did you just send me?
Nothing. Keep going.
All right. Anyway, so she had my grandmother, my great grandfather, who she married, was English, obviously. My grandmother, and then moved to England, right? And my grandmother, when she was about 3, my great grandmother abandoned her, and then she came back when my grandmother was 9 and tried to take her away from my grandfather, and he was like, "I don't fucking think so." So she left again. And then 30 years later, she came back. By this time, my nan had my mum and my aunts and my uncle and stuff, basically. And she said she'd moved to Australia at that point, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry for abandoning you, but you know, you're my only daughter, and I love you, and when I die, you know, I'm leaving everything to you." So my nan was kind of like, "Okay, fine, I forgive you, whatever." She was trying to build up a relationship with her up until like last year when she died, right? So basically, she would demand that my nan would go over there once a year to Australia, which is like over a day's worth of flying. And she used to like treat my nan like shit. She hated my granddad because like she always thought my nan married below her station, kind of. Because
she did not marry a proper man.
No,
She did
like
not marry
seriously,
Superman.
seriously, because my granddad was from a really poor family, so she was just like, "Oh, he's beneath you," and like she'd treat him like shit. Like whenever they'd go over to look after her for 6 months at a time to Australia at her house, he would have to use the outside toilet. He wasn't allowed to use warm water when he showered.
Just picturing he's Nazi.
All the lights had to be off and all the electricity off and everyone in bed by 9 o'clock every night. She kept her cat on a fucking leash, right?
Telltale sign someone's a Nazi.
The last 10 years of her life, she was on a fucking breathing machine, so whenever she was up, it would sound like fucking Darth Vader was in the house, right?
I mean, how hard is it just to kind of drag your feet when you walk? Oops, unplugged.
No, and then she also used to like hit my mum and my aunts and my uncle when they were kids, right? And my nan basically would just put up with it because she thought deep down that she really did love her and she was really sorry and all that. And then last year she got really sick and there was a big problem because basically all of the care workers in the area were afraid of her and didn't want to look after her because they'd all fucking heard what a bitch she was. So my nan had to go over there and sort out residential care for her. And while she was over there last year, she died, right?
Good.
And the house was a mess. My mum went with her because my granddad is like 68 or some shit, and he's like, you know what, I just can't do the flying anymore. Fuck that. So my mum had to go with her. And fucking the house was so messy that like my mum got hives while she was there. And anyway, so she died, right? And then they got the will. She'd left everything to just some guy who was the son of one of her friends about 30 years ago. So my nan didn't get anything.
Wow.
And also, my granddad used the joke that like she was probably in the Hitler Youth, but when we were going through her belongings, it turned out she was because we found a fucking like Hitler Youth booklet thing that she had when she was a kid. So yeah, fuck her.
Remember that one video of the old like 98-year-old woman having a birthday party and she's like senile and all of a sudden she raises her hand and goes, "Heil Hitler!"
So I'm glad I never met her. She's the only person I've known who's ever actually been a Nazi, and she was a fucking bitch. So if that's not enough to turn you off of being a Nazi, I don't know what is. No,
compare her to Antifa, ironically.
And also, she put in the will that she wanted my nan to speak at her funeral and then take her ashes back to England so she could be buried. And my nan was like, "Nah, fuck that." My uncle said that.
Jesus.
No, my uncle said that my nan should have taken her ashes back so that they could have all flushed them down the toilet.
Public toilet. Like actual like outhouse kind of thing where it's going to be continually abused.
We all take turns shitting in the toilet, and then we'll flush it. Seriously, fuck that woman.
That's
anyway, on a lighter note.
Oh yeah, did you hear that ComicGate is starting now?
Oh, what's going on now?
It kind of reached a boiling point where Mark Waid, an old he might as well retire right now because he doesn't make anything good anymore. But he used to do very good work. He's a writer for comics, and he what was it? There's a secret Facebook group that was gonna harass diversity in comics. The guy who had the diversity in comics channel just harass him at the one convention.
Mm-hmm.
And try to force him into a fight or something like that. And then when someone called him on, and he backpedaled. "Oh no, I just want to talk." So it's pretty much at the point now where it's going to blow up into a whole Gamergate of comics sort of thing, where it's not going to be like Gamergate blew up, where it was one event that caused the entire thing. It's just reaching its boiling point because.
So wait a minute. So the guy who they want to attack is not politically correct, or what?
Oh no, not at all. He does not like the politically correct way that comics have been going, and his channel is called Diversity in Comics on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen some before.
And so the progressive left are trying to egg him into a fight so that they could make it look like they're the victims and he's some type of outrageous monster, and then be like, "Hey, this guy's violent. We need to get him out of comics," right?
Yeah. Well, not anymore because their secret Facebook group messages got out and got leaked, and they can't do anything because it was literally like. Mark Waid put up the message that said, "If you see this guy at the convention, I don't even care if I'm in a panel or anything. Just come up and tell me, and I'll go confront him." Now,
but seriously, like the fucking comic industry is in such a rut right now because they're trying to force this fucking politically correct message into every single fucking comic book, and it's sickening.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like even was it I can't remember if it was Marvel or DC, but one of them made a fucking comic where Hillary Clinton was a fucking superhero. It's so cringe. It was so cringe.
I remember the one where Hillary Clinton, you know how like there's that scene in Watchmen where everyone's like confronting Dr. Manhattan and he like just fucks off to Mars. It's the same thing. It's Hillary Clinton and she's being attacked by horrible white misogynist men, and she like ascends like away because she's like, I can't take care of them anymore. I gotta fly away, and she like ascends to the heavens.
It's like the reason people watch, films and read comic books and play video games is to take a break from fucking real life.
Escapism.
To take a break from, to escape from all the fucking.
Hey, we lost
politics
Rory.
of the real world.
Or sorry, not Rory. We lost Big Chief.
Huh.
Anyways, you're saying, Big Chief, if you're still there, come back.
We didn't mean to kick you out.
Yeah, we're not Nazis.
No, but so the fact that you can't escape from
There
it
he is.
because they try to inject it into every fucking aspect of your life. It's just the wrong way, and that's why
It's like
Marvel,
beating someone over the head over and over and over again. Especially when they point their finger at you and say you're an ist, even though you're not, and then they keep on trying to beat you over the head, saying you're a horrible ist, and
it's like, no, I'm just trying to go on with my fucking life. I'm trying to just live it like a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
In every little thing I do, you're calling out and saying, "Oh, that's racist. That's homophobic. That's whatever."
It's like the new South Park that's coming up. Have you seen the teaser for that? The trailer, where it's like, I found out I'm 2% black. I can say the N-word now.
Yeah, I found out I'm 2% black. How's it going, Robert? Sup, my nigga?
I'm 14% victim. I honestly think this season of South Park might be starting to finally get back on their feet, because that last season was fucking abysmal. But here's the thing: the more I see about the South Park episodes, of what they tried doing, it kind of makes sense in a way. But again, the election results just fucked everything over, and I hope to God they just quit the serialization crap. I haven't watched new South Parks yet; haven't really felt like it. But this new episode might get me back in the game.
Well, even Trey Parker and Matt Stone admitted that the last season failed badly because of the election thing. It was really poor planning on Trey Parker and Matt Stone's part that they didn't plan for.
What, you cut out?
I said it was poor planning on Trey Parker and Matt Stone's part to not plan for either eventuality.
Well, nobody really expected that to happen, but still, the fact that they just serialized the entire season was just a bad fucking mistake.
Well, I heard a lot of people saying that they really like the new direction, the serialization, but
No.
I just don't. I don't mind if it's over the course of 1 or 2 episodes, but the Game of Thrones parody they did was great, I thought.
Yeah.
But when it's a whole fucking season,
Yes.
it's just such a drag.
Exactly.
Events moved too quickly to have a whole season kind of based around one event for South Park, I think. So much shit is happening nowadays that if you have it for 1 or 2 episodes, you can move on and have your comedy elsewhere. But it's like they took a joke from one episode of one season and stretched it over 20 episodes.
Yep.
Yeah. The magic of South Park is that they had a week to write a script, animate it, get it out. And so everything they put in there was up to date and recent. But now, because they have to plan out for a whole season, they have to rely on a joke lasting throughout the duration of a season.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny that you mentioned it, because that just reminds me of the behind-the-scenes stuff where they procrastinate and do everything in the last 3 days.
Yes. What was it called? 7 days to air, 5 days to air?
Yeah. And they just procrastinated until the last 3 days, and they put 18-hour days in and sleep in their houses to get the episode out.
My favorite part of that was when I can't remember who it was, but some employee was being interviewed, and in mid-interview they just went, and I think that was Trey farting over the sound. Over the microphone.
It's like, fuck it, I'm too tired. Just put it in the final edit.
Heard that hopefully the last season failed because they were focusing on the game, so they didn't have a lot of time to focus on the series.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. Hang on, have you watched the new South Parks yet?
Not really. When the whole election season came out, it wasn't interesting.
So, can anyone tell me if they've brought up the fucking member berries? Because I swear to God, they're not. I don't think they're going to get resolved this season.
No, I think they're just going to fucking wash their hands from the entire thing.
Yeah, I think they officially just killed that season. Was done with the entire plot line as soon as Hillary lost.
Yeah, which is probably the better suggestion, because I heard things like they were going to have Hillary Clinton's emails be the reason why she hired the trolls to go in and crash Denmark so all the information doesn't get out. So they were doing some sneaky shit behind the scenes, and I keep on thinking that maybe those member berries, like the old member berry, looks like an old mobster. Keep wondering if he wasn't supposed to be like George Soros.
There were people commenting on our South Park video saying, oh, "You're so wrong, man. This season was the best ever." And I was like, "Okay,
give me a break."
No. I was like, "Okay, you can disagree that it's not the worst season.
You
there's
have
no way
every
you can
right
say
to be
it's
stupid.
the best." I can understand if you don't think this is the worst season ever, but there's no way you can think this is the best season ever.
Yeah, it was pretty shit.
Yeah. So the YouTube video I linked in the chat, it's what the Canadian government wasted their tourism money on, and they collaborated with Tokyo Pop TV for Japanese campaign for tourism.
Oh,
and it's an entire anime thing of locations in Canada.
I got it paused. I got ready to play.
Yeah, well, Justin Trudeau is an SJW weeaboo.
I wish Rob Ford was still alive so we could vote him fucking Prime Minister of Canada and just make the rest of the world just shiver in fear for the absolute stupidity that the Western continent could create. I wanted to see that so bad. People didn't see Donald Trump being voted president. Motherfucker, we voted a crack mayor of Toronto. You think that Donald Trump couldn't become fucking president?
So what do we call this? First of all, if you want to find this video, and we haven't hit play yet, I think you gotta Google or you gotta look in YouTube. It's called "Visit Warm Winter Canada."
Yeah,
and it's by Tokyo Pop TV. And what would you call this? Canada's anime weeaboo vacation promo.
It's not horrible. I don't know why we would waste money on this shit.
All right, well, I'm about ready to watch it. So everybody else got it up. Because I can't wait to see this. So I'm going to do a countdown, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Playing. Oh, I'm already out. I'm sorry, but when did Canada start looking like fucking Japan?
There are a lot of Japanese people in Canada, apparently. Yeah, no, my buddy found this for me last night. I thought it was pretty funny.
Created for the Canadian Theater Tourism Campaign. That's okay. Now, question: is this something that was just like an actual video that existed, and they just cut it up and made a commercial out of it?
Nope. It was a full description. 2 young tourists in the film. Yeah. No, it was a full collaboration between the Tourism of Canada and their with the Japanese government as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wow. Where's NG when we need her? NG, what do you think about this shit?
Wait, what was the name? You know Owen Wilson. What's the name of his brother who was in like Idiocracy?
Luke Wilson.
I'm pretty sure that Justin Trudeau is just Luke Wilson in disguise. Like just trolling
Come on,
everyone.
guys, it's 2017. It's like
I am proud to call myself a feminist.
Why did you make a gender balanced cabinet? Because it's 2017. It's like,
how about you just hire the right people for the job? How about, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's all, X, Y, and Z types of people. Just hire the best. Who cares?
Well, feminism doesn't allow that. So, or
Yeah.
progressive, not feminism specifically, progressivism, let's say.
Well, that's just it. Instead of like Martin Luther King saying, let a man be based on the color of his character, not of his skin.
And then progressives go around 20, 30 years later and say, you know what? Let's go back to segregation. That was a good idea.
No shit.
He white. Beat his shit.
He beat his shit. He voted Trump.
Yeah, never mind all the black people who vote for Trump.
Well, they're just Uncle Toms. See, they're not real black men and women. Jesus Christ. I mean, just the amount of slandering. If you do something that the media doesn't like, they just fucking just rip your asshole apart. Call you every name in the book. Bullying tactics. Ben Shapiro was right in his book, Bullies.
Well, it's because, you know, the media backed Hillary Clinton so fucking hard that if they go back now and say, okay, yeah, we did it, we made a lot of this shit up, then nobody's ever going to trust them again. So they have to keep up the charade of, oh, Russian collusion.
When double down doesn't work, you triple down, and then you quadruple down, and then you quintuple down, and then you sextuple down.
Well, I was reading a book by Joe Narovo about dangerous minds, and I read the entire thing on the narcissism bit, and Jesus Christ, if the media isn't fucking narcissist. I mean, the level of self-importance that they have and how aggrandizing they are, and then if something doesn't go their way, they blame everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, this is fucking in a nutshell. But anyways, Kahuna, welcome.
Hello.
Yay, she found the unmute button. If only less women could find that unmute button.
So, bikinis and coffee.
Oh, okay. Do tell.
All right, so I guess last week, I think, have you heard of like the bikini baristas in Washington State?
No, I have not.
Please tell me.
This sounds quite an interesting ordeal.
Yeah, so this is kind of based out of the town of Everett, Washington. So there is a group of businesses that kind of like are these girls that kind of work out these kind of like Java booths, and they just kind of are baristas, but their thing is that they are in bikinis like 24/7 serving coffee.
Oh my God, it's heaven. Why did I leave Seattle? Fuck you guys.
So the whole thing about it is that they're, getting into it with, the town council or whoever is making this stuff because they feel like they're being persecuted because the town thinks that their business is kind of not kosher due to a bunch of stuff like, oh, well, you're going to have children and they're going to, be influenced by seeing women in bikinis and, sex, and that's not good.
Oh my God, close the beaches.
So a lot of the rap was coming from feminists, and they actually have like videos from feminists protesting these women's, just minding their own business, serving coffee.
Feminists protesting two women starting their own business and earning money by themselves.
But see, they're using their body to do it.
We feminists have thought up of the perfect plan to solve our problem. It's called the hijab.
I was gonna say. Did you guys
we gotta find the sweet spot of not too much clothes and not enough clothes. We just gotta find that middle center ground, and we gotta hit that sweet spot.
If you guys want to see the funniest shit, go on YouTube and look up Saudi Arabia allows women to drive,
but under one condition.
Under one condition. It's the funniest shit you'll ever see.
That wasn't on YouTube. That was on Twitter.
Well, you can probably find it on YouTube, I imagine.
So I guess the whole thing is that the town is putting enforcement laws where police are just going to come in randomly and do like inspection checks on their uniforms. Like it has to be like a certain length and type. It's just stupid.
I didn't know children drink coffee, like small children.
Yeah.
Like those that. So what? They're going like 18 and under.
Well, they kind of figure this out. I mean, there are families and women that frequent the things. Like they had a video, like this person's like, oh, look at these feminists protesting us, but look at this nice family, just coming out on a Saturday night to support us and stuff and just buying coffee. But I think some of them, I think I read this like 2 years ago, like they don't serve to minors. You can have to be 18 or something to go up there, but it's just like, I just don't get the whole controversy of it. I mean, I understand if it's like related to sanitary or safety standards, but there really didn't seem any. And seems
just make the women wear 2 hair nets. You'll be fine. Either wear 2 hair nets or wax.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that burrito stand. I can't remember where it was now, but 2 women opened up a burrito stand after they went to Mexico and had some burritos, and they were like, "Oh my God, these are amazing!" And they like learned from all the local women how to make burritos. And then the W's got their business shut down because they said that it was cultural appropriation and that they were stealing these Mexican women's recipes. Is there just a conspiracy amongst SJWs to not let women own fucking businesses?
No, I just think they hate fun.
Oh, yeah.
They hate happiness and enjoyment. They have to make everyone as miserable as they are.
If these women choose to use their bodies to make money, isn't that their choice? Isn't that the whole fucking point of feminism?
Yeah, because
Well,
I mean, if
you
think
see,
about it,
there's choice feminism and then there's non-choice feminism, and the mainstream feminism, feminist sort of ideology is going towards non-choice feminism. So you are only allowed to choose the things that we allow you to choose in order to further our own agenda. Is basically what it is.
authoritarianism, feminism, as if feminism wasn't already authoritarian enough in several aspects.
So women can no longer make their own choices because they're not striving for equality when they don't make the choices that we decide are right.
Women can't be trusted. Women can't be trusted to further feminism.
Here's a question. Now, what if let's say some guys, good-looking guys, have this like Chip and Dale type of like coffee shop or even like a smoothie shop, and their main audience is, you know, women and you know, maybe even gay guys. Who would give a fuck?
They would probably get their own reality TV show, and it'd be called Empowering for Women, just like Gigolos on Showtime.
I mean, it's I guess it's like sex negative feminism and sex positive feminism, where you have women who want to march down the streets topless and say, you know, we want the right to be able to, you know, flaunt what we got. And then you have the sex negative feminists who are like, no, cover that shit up. And it's fucking mental. There's this meme, I guess, of you know, this female protester outside of like a Hooters, and she's pretty homely looking, and the Hooters girls are just, you know, having fun. I guess no one's putting a fucking gun to anyone's head saying eat our food or work here. So why is this an issue? This is a nothing burger.
Just hold a gun to one of the newest waitresses. Yeah, I'll fucking do it. She wants to go to college. Do you not want her to go to college?
This reminds. Has anyone ever seen the film Dodgeball?
Yes.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
You remember that scene in it where they open a car wash and it, like,
yeah, it's just the guys.
There's this women in these, and they're you know, they're all soapy and suddy, and they're like pressing their boobs up against the windscreen, washing people's cars, and they're getting loads of business. And then it pans over to all the dudes who are kind of schlubby looking, and they're in their like speedos and shit.
The only business that we had is that the one that makes Justin Long's character keeps cleaning his truck, and it's just this guy with a pit bull on a chain, and he's fucking stroking his belly button. He's like, yeah, get in there nice and deep, boy.
Betty squeals real nice.
Well, isn't that the whole? I mean, if these women are happy to show their bodies for money, and these men are happy to pay for it, what the fuck is the problem?
It's because they're doing something that a small, very vocal minority doesn't like, so they have to pass the law. Which isn't that kind of like the definition of fascism?
You know what?
Having to have the state step in and do things that, you know.
Women. Do you know what? This might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm actually all for prostitution if it's regulated, because sex is a fucking commodity, and if women don't mind giving their bodies up and don't mind earning money, and men are happy to pay for it, as long as they do it safely, the fuck is the problem?
I think that's the case with Australian brothels.
Las Vegas, same way.
Well,
you can have
scientific.
Sorry.
Well, it's scientifically proven that, you know, if you have a lack of sex, it does affect your mind and your mood, and it can have bad health effects. So, you know, sex is kind of like a necessity.
Well, yeah,
in many ways.
On the Maslow's, I guess, pyramid of hierarchy of needs, it's right down there with food and sleep. So,
well, yeah, and imagine if you were like disabled, or you had a horrible facial disfigurement or something like that. So you can't. It's hard for you to go out and meet women and, you know, romantic relationship. Wouldn't it just be so much easier, and you know, to just go pay this woman who's happy to sleep with you and just get it over with?
And also, I mean, guys who don't get enough sex are extremely aggressive. So, I mean, you could say something like that about You know, a lot of these guys who's that one asshole who shot up that Florida school, the misogynist, the real misogynist. He was
Elliot Rogers.
Elliot Rogers, yeah. He was the one always bitching about, you know, girls don't find me attractive. He wasn't getting laid. Of course, he's probably too creepy to get laid though. But I mean, if you know, he could have just rubbed one out or gotten a prostitution to, you know, give him a quickie, then he probably.
A lot of these women will probably stop being feminists if they got some dick every once in a while.
Win. Beautiful.
That's actually what my dad says. It sounds like some SOB had a bug up her ass.
Let me think about it. I mean, you honestly think Trigglypuff is getting any?
Well, not only that, but like, why is it illegal? Why is it illegal to pay a man or a woman to have sex with you? But if there's a camera involved and you're going to publish it and put it on a film or on a website, oh, then it's absolutely fine.
Well, as long as you sign all the right paperwork, it is pornography.
As long as it's two consenting adults, it's fine. What does it have to do with you?
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like prostitution, don't buy it.
Well, there's like another like outreach in Seattle thing, because I guess that place has like a lot of, you know, prostitution going on. So they said there's actually a board where prostitutes can solicit their services and stuff, and then he get rated and everything like that. And it kind of just went on without a problem, and it kind of helped that type of community because they could actually, you know, communicate with, you know, their future customers and set dates and stuff like that. But then I think it got shut down because of some sort of like sex slavery thing where they had like illegal migrants from South Korea, like these girls or something, like, you know, working, which is unethical, of course. But they kind of just shut down the whole thing, and then they're like, oh, that's a victory, you know, for women. And it's like, well, no, now we don't have a safe way to communicate and, you know, advertise. So
now they'll just get
now they don't have jobs
now.
And then it's like,
well, I mean, it's like abortion, right? People are going to do it whether it's legal or not. So just make it legal and regulate it. If they're going to do it, they might as well do it safely.
Yeah. And then it was funny because then there was a whole like article posted in the local Seattle like magazine about like the tech industry is sexist and racist because all these white males work for Microsoft and they get blowjobs in Microsoft parking lots because they solicit all these prostitutes. So we need to crack down on that. And people are like, Seattle's been a hotbed of prostitution since the gold rush. I don't know what your problem is, lady.
Well,
so what you're saying is get hired at Microsoft.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's the gold mine right there.
Okay. I'm just 100%. I just want to be on the same page. Okay, I got to get my resume written up here. Hold on.
But no, there was a Louis Theroux documentary, right, where he went and visited this brothel. It was a legally owned brothel, and I think it was in Vegas. And the owner was a man and a woman. Who the man had met the woman because he was one of her customers, right? And he was a customer, and they opened up this business. And you know, the women who were staying there, they were all happy. They, you know, free board, free food. They had gyms. They had a swimming pool. The guys, the people who owned it looked after all their needs. If they had any medical care or whatever, it was regulated. The girls didn't have to do anything they didn't want to do. They didn't have to sleep with anyone they didn't want to.
There was no level of abuse that comes with having prostitution being illegal, like, you know, pimp violence. I mean, if your pimp beats the shit out of you or one of your clients rapes you, where do you go? You can't go to the cops because they'll throw you in jail.
Yeah, they make the man sign a contract saying that they're not going to do anything horrible or anything like that. It's all regulated. These girls, for the most part, are pretty happy. And, you know, a lot of the women he was talking to, they said, oh, yeah, this is just, you know, something it's not forever.
This is for my acting career.
But they say, you know, it's not forever. It's just like a thing to do between now and college. You know, it's a way for me to earn a lot of money.
Yep.
If I can earn more money doing this than waitressing, I'd rather get fucked than have to deal with snappy customers.
Yeah, you get fucked either way. Might as well get the money. But anyways, we're going to let Big Chief go. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys later.
And we brought in TR, but we still got plenty of time to talk with Kahuna Drake.
Yeah, even the community outreach is kind of one-sided. It's like, well, men have to address, like, they're the problem or something. It's like, well, there's male escorts too. You know? and there's like no,
Yeah.
I don't think community for them is just kind of focused on women. So it's kind of like, oh God.
Gee, you think these people have an agenda? Oh my God.
Well, wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer's like main victim base like male prostitutes?
Gay men he found, yeah.
Well, that's the whole
Yeah.
thing. Like, that's a risk factor because they don't really have a safe place to do their business and stuff like that. And then, you know, they kind of feel like they're easy targets because they won't be missed if they're in that kind of lifestyle and stuff like that. But, you know, there's like more security of where they can have like a physical location to work out of. Like, I don't see the big deal.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, this place was providing free room and board for all the girls. Each girl had their own room. They could leave, come and go whenever they wanted. Literally.
Yeah, I kind of noticed like there's just a disconnect between male and female prostitutions. Like, male clients are seen as desperate, needy, or creepy, but then if a woman does it, like goes on gigolos or whatever and films their sescapades on that show, then it's just like, oh, well, it's empowering and they're giving women what they want. They're servicing women. It's so empowering. Female sexuality, woohoo. It's just a weird double standard.
And transmission, Rory, I muted you because you had us playing in the background, so we're kind of getting an echo. Just a heads up.
Sound.
We hear you.
So, TR,
right.
have you ever been with a prostitute?
Have you ever been with a prostitute? Well, I was near enough a red light district in Holland.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was cycling down with my cousin. He's studying business out there. We're
Studying
cycling
business.
across the way, and he goes, hey, Rory, there's a red light district down there. Do you want to go? I'm like, fuck no. If you pop your cherry the first time, you don't pay for it.
Jesus Christ.
Because like, there's no honor in it.
Well, I thought you were going to make the IT crowd joke where they're like, we had decided to hire 2 prostitutes. In the end, we were too scared to do anything with them, so we ended up going to the fair.
God, that's a fucked up episode. But I was just gonna say that if you've ever been with a woman, you've been with a prostitute. I mean, come on. I mean, buying dinner, you know, taking them on dates, movies, expensive
Well,
wine.
that's-
Remember that?
That's the
think
other
a
thing
big
as
dog-
well. Paying a prostitute for sex is just more economically viable than...
In a long-term relationship.
Reminds me of Boondocks when Riley and Hugh were talking about there's between dating and prostitution. Well, I'm paying, so me she a hoe.
And Butters in South Park when he becomes a kissing company. See, Stan out
Was that
there?
that thing where the police officer shits out all the jizz?
Yeah, that's one where Butters is watching Stan and Witty outside. And Witty's bitching and Stan sitting there listening to it, and he's telling Kyle, "See, one way or another, he's paying for it. He has to put up with listening to her shit."
You know, I'm surprised. Going off topic here, I'm surprised no one has brought up that Emmys show yet.
Which show?
The what?
The Emmys. You know how they were on? What was it, last week or this week? You remember people were saying, "Oh, it's just a bunch of." It was just a giant
Circle jerk.
snowflake wankfest.
Well, that's the Emmys
Yeah.
in a nutshell, isn't it?
A bunch of
No.
rich and famous people patting themselves on the back.
Well, it was kind of suspicious because like a good majority of the awards went to like the Handmaidens Tale, and if you know what that drama is, basically some people were comparing it to, oh well, it's taking jabs at the Trump presidency and whatnot.
How? It doesn't have anything in common. Like, they just didn't ban all women from working and like, oh, you have to have just babies and that's it.
Well, that's not necessarily the whole story. It's that like, oh, these fundamentalist Christians take over the government. Then because of pollution, you know, fertility rates are going down. There's a lot of STDs, so only a few select women can give, you know, like reproduce children, and you know they pretty much capture women, enslave them, and you know like sell them as handmaidens to rich white families.
Yeah, but it's just like
What Trump did, right? I mean, you know, it wasn't like, you know, he actually married people.
Yeah. It felt suspicious as well because, like, this won all the awards, but yet stuff like Stranger Things, Westworld, and House of Cards, you know, like lost out.
Didn't Stranger Things win an award like last year? Was it? And then they all of them got on the stage.
That was I think that was a Screen Actors Guild, and that was with that painful speech by Harbour.
Yeah, and then fucking
Wyonna Ryder.
Winona Ryder looked like she was fucking on meth or some shit.
Winona Ryder, like she's on like meth or something, just looking around the place.
She was seeing some shit, man.
What's Winona Ryder? When isn't she crazy?
She's been crazy since Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Well, then again, like, didn't she like screw herself over with that whole shoplifting scandal?
The what? What did she do?
Oh, this happened before. This is why she was like pretty much gone until Stranger Things. See, there's this scandal where she was caught shoplifting from a store, and like you can find it on YouTube. I'm sure she was shown on CCTV like stealing clothes from a fancy clothes shop. Then she's like detained and brought in.
Jesus. Oh. Bitches be crazy.
Bitches be crazy.
But no, I mean, the Emmys and the Oscars is just a giant wank fest. It's the movies that tend to win Oscars are very formulaic, and people know what kind of films they have to make to get an Oscar. You know, they're
like there's this whole category now of just like, for lack of a better word, you know, the white guilt films. You know, like The Help, Selma, 12 Years a Slave, Django. Granted, that movie's awesome, but they all follow this formula.
Well, look at fucking Moonlight that won. It's the most generic fucking thing ever. It's like they literally had a checklist, right? Okay, we have a black protagonist, check. He's gay, check. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. And a lot of films that win at the Oscars as well tend to be films that like are about making films, like a big wank.
Well, that one I don't object to, because hopefully we can see the disaster artists in the Oscar category.
No,
because if you've actually read the book, it's a really fascinating novel, especially if you're a fan of The Room. Well,
I mean, the Oscars is just a big fucking wank fest. I mean, there are films out there, and you think, God, this film is amazing, or this performance was amazing. Did it win an Oscar? And you look up who actually won the fucking Oscar that year, and it's some film that nobody even fucking remembers anymore.
Yeah, like with that whole Moonlight thing, the whole thing where it's like, oh, La La Land, oh, we thought it won first. No, it's really Moonlight. I'm thinking, wait, this movie that pretty much everyone's seen didn't win, but yet this really obscure indie film won?
Oh.
Like, what was...
Yep.
Okay, Nat. Was Nat did everyone hear Nat talking?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
No, kind of was quiet for a while.
Yeah. Nat,
oh, okay.
Your microphone sucks.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Unfortunately.
How dare you, sir?
All right, so...
I'm pretty sure she's telling me to go fuck myself, though, but we can't hear it because we can't hear her.
Listen.
All right, I hear you now.
Okay, so The Iron Lady came out in like 2012, right? That won the Oscar for Best Makeup. Like, what?
Well, okay, like, to be fair, they did kind of get Meryl Streep to look a little bit like Margaret Thatcher.
All right, well then how about last year when Suicide Squad won Best fucking Makeup? Like, what the fuck? Some smudged lipstick and mascara?
That won Best Makeup, yet Star Trek, that Star Trek movie, that lost?
Yeah. What the fuck? There's no... just... what?
Or even back in 1994. Okay, you had movies like Pulp Fiction, Shawshank, Quiz Show, all 4 Weddings and a Funeral. They all lost, yet Forrest Gump won. The hell?
But it is just a big wank fest. It is like... And the way that... Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. But what made me laugh was that Will Smith, right? He was like, okay, I'm going to do this film about a Nigerian doctor. It's a serious film, and I'm going to, you know, put in a lot of effort, and I'm definitely going to win an Oscar. And he didn't even get nominated. So he was like, oh, the Oscars are racist.
Yeah, they
Well-
always pull that. I noticed that a lot. Will Smith always does that. Even his wife had to like back him with it. My husband didn't win. Let's call the Academy racist. It's not the fact that you weren't. You were just a bad actor, Will. It's in the fact that you didn't give it your all.
You know what else as well? I mean, like, Will Smith is just kind of an annoying douchebag, right? But it's everyone else that jumped on that train, and it kind of shits over every black actor who's ever won an Oscar before.
Well, that's what Jamie Foxx basically said. He got it for the movie Ray, and he's like, "What? Maybe you guys should just act better."
Well, it's just nobody's complaining. When was the last time you saw an Asian actor nominated for an Oscar?
Yeah, never
no
see
one's
that.
complaining about that. No.
Well, the crazy thing too is, I mean, it's almost like his ego is so up there that he can't stand not getting nominated, and then he has to try shoving his kids in our fucking faces, like that new anime with his son that is apparently getting so much backlash.
What's this?
His son is in a new anime. I think it's on Netflix, isn't it?
I think so. Is this
that one with pink hair?
It's the one that's in the CCS forums. Forums, yeah. It's in the CCS forums, and I saw the trailer, and I was like, Jesus Christ, really? Are they really trying to push their kids into the limelight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like most of the award shows nowadays are just about political grandstanding, not really about movies themselves or any of the technical expertise that goes into them.
Well, they have to politically grandstand, otherwise people are going to realize that they're the 1%.
Just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Which is ironic,
We're the ones on your side, guys.
Award shows with 1%.
Got fucking George Clooney up there talking about how it's horrible that we don't let in more refugees. Meanwhile, he's got like 5 fucking houses all around Europe with empty bedrooms that are just left empty all fucking year that could house plenty of refugees.
And then Benedict Cumberbatch being like, yeah, you know what, we should bring in more refugees. And then later saying, I don't want my children anywhere near the refugees.
Or what's it, Lee Cunningham from like Game of Thrones, Davos? He was complaining, "Oh, we should let the migrants into this country." Liam, we can't even house our own. How are we supposed to house the migrants?
Yeah, and if they bother to keep this in the fucking Jim Jeffries show whenever they do decide to air it, that's what I actually said, is that, you know, we've got record fucking homelessness in this country, the hotbed of which is in London, where most of these migrants go. If we can't house our own fucking population, what good are we going to be to the refugees?
Same problem over here.
I mean, we're a tiny fucking island. You know, you don't have to be a genius to work out that the fucking world's population can't fucking fit here.
Well, one thing you have to worry about too is supply and demand. If there's an oversupply of workers, then the demand for them goes down, and so does the wages.
Oh, but that doesn't matter for Benedict Cumberbatch. He's still going to make his hundreds of billions. It doesn't matter.
But again,
like,
these people are virtue signaling because they're 1%.
Like, there's a lot of the complaints that say Germany has with the migrants. They say we have to bring them in because we're having low birth rates in our country. We gotta get more younger people to do the jobs.
Random black man here.
Sup, Duke?
Oh my God, hide the TV.
God dang it!
You walk into him every single time.
I know.
He's got cable.
Well,
That's true.
If you'd introduce yourself as a normal human being and not just as your race, then we wouldn't have a problem.
Okay, but funny enough,
cranky honky here.
Yes. You need to check your car for that, man.
Yes.
But, anyway,
my privilege. It's either this or I go out and chop down trees for the rest of my life.
The life of Montanian. Anyway, TransmissionRory, how you doing, man?
I'm Grant, but sorry to leave Duke early, but I gotta go to another stream right now. It's part of the Patreon.
Well, finish your thought first.
Finish your thought, brother, because I was actually gonna do some. I was actually gonna agree with you. By the way, go finish it.
Remind me again what we were talking about.
Oh, the migrants.
It's to do with immigration.
Oh yeah, the migrants. Yeah, this is the main complaints that this is like one of the points the Germans make is that we need to bring the migrants in. We're having low birth rates, but I'm thinking, okay, how about we just organize a mass orgy of Germans? This will solve the problem much easier. Okay.
Yeah, but
which one's scarier?
Well, but that's gonna be really awkward for taxes and everything. I don't think Merkel will look as favorably as now. Like say, okay, we're just gonna have a mass instead of bringing in people, we're just gonna have a mass orgy. It's not gonna be. And even then, how the government will screw it up, and you're gonna have a mass orgy, and next it's gonna be like lots of the women will be in one place, the guys will be in another place, and some people will be lost, and next there's gonna be some dogs involved. And
excuse me, have you not heard what the migrants did to a bunch of women on New Year's Eve? There was a mass orgy.
I was gonna say if they're gonna have a mass orgy of Germans, what are you gonna do with all the fecal matter after it's done?
Oh.
Well, what about? Oh God! But then again, what about the beer? The beer will probably wash it away, so that will be another thing.
At least you hope it's beer.
Look, Germans will probably make enough beer for everybody to get drunk. If there was an orgy, a statewide orgy, that would guarantee you Germany would be like, okay, we got this. If they need enough alcohol. In fact, I guarantee you, if there is somewhere a countrywide orgy, I guarantee the main suppliers of beer would be Germany. Just saying.
Well, there is a mass orgy happening in the country. It's called Scotland.
No,
yes.
like in that Jim Jeffries show thing that I was on, which still hasn't been on yet, which I'm annoyed about, but whatever. There was this dude who was like, he was really fucking posh, right? And I could just tell he was from a really rich family. Like when you watch it, you'll see it. And he was like obviously against Brexit because and he was saying, oh, Merkel, she's like the mother of Europe. She's the most, loving leader we've ever had, letting in all these migrants when nobody else will give them a chance. It's like, fuck off, you twat.
He's the retard of Europe, I'd say, not the mother.
Oh, and by the way, I guarantee
the mother of all bad ideas.
I will say this. The people who say that probably live in the most liliest or whitest of places. Mm-hmm. I guarantee
I will agree with that 100%.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
It's Wales.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Funny enough, there was actually an article saying that there was a person who they were like get this person out of his store because you need to speak English, but it was it's in Wales, but yet the person was speaking Welsh. So I'm like, that's how I'm like, seriously, that's English for the English right there. So how are you gonna kick someone out for just speaking Welsh?
That's so white that they fall on the fucking bed sheet, they disappear.
Tilde did a video recently about this, right? There's a thing in London, in a place called Notting Hill, called the Notting Hill Carnival. Notting Hill is a very, very rich area. You have to be like almost a millionaire to get a house there, right? And they've got really big, nice houses. But every year they have this thing called the Notting Hill Carnival, where like Afro-Caribbeans basically get together and they have this huge festival, right? In the streets, little parade thing. And they board up their fucking houses every year when this happens.
So it's like the Purge.
Well, I mean, all they're doing is having like a little festival. Although it's like a large gathering of Afro-Caribbeans, and like there tends to be a lot of like crime happen around that. Like last year, there was an acid attack and stuff like that. So all these rich people who are all for cultural diversity, right? When it comes to them, and the cultural diversity is on their doorstep, they fucking barricade themselves in and board up their fucking houses to make sure that keep your cultural shit away from me.
Exactly.
Yeah, like they're the big.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, man.
They're the biggest hypocrites, really.
Yeah, same thing happens in the States here, man. I mean, you got people who there was actually an article. I should can find it. It's like some like dude down the South side. The people talk all this about the racist stuff. The most racist people I see is people from like the most liberal cities. The ones who clutch the purses when you see a black man walking inside, or they just like they drive they go walk the other way. I'm like, seriously, y'all talk about racist, man. The liberals are probably one of the most big racists out there. They live in that nice gated community.
Yes,
they don't want
communities.
Yeah, it's like that quote Malcolm X said. The white liberal is more deceitful than the white conservative, because at least the white conservative is more honest, or whatever that quote goes by.
Oh yeah, you retweeted it, by the way. Thanks for that. I put that on Twitter, but I don't know if it is true. It was 3:00 in the morning. I was barely even functioning, and I was like, okay, let me just put that. It was Malcolm X, and I said, let me just retweet it. I don't care. It could have been like Malcolm X could have said that ass, and I'm like, well, screw it. It's Malcolm X. I'll put it up there.
Well,
everyone knows Malcolm X said that ass. Come on,
that ass. Well, one of the craziest things is like obviously there's people who are oh my god, scary people of color, oh no, and while they're saying rights and all this kind of crap, right? I mean, again, freaking Benedict Cumberbatch. But
yeah,
there's also the exact opposite where they almost get condescending, where it's like, oh, you're doing so well, and it's like, motherfucker, I work a 9-to-5 job at a tech company. What the fuck,
Yeah, the bigotry and low expectations.
Yeah.
Say, oh, well, don't be too hard on him. He's from the other dark place, so you have to lower the standards. I'm like, no.
Well, that's why I hate things like affirmative action. Like, oh, we have to have a certain number of women in it. What? Because you don't think women are capable of getting in on their own? Like,
oh, this happened to me in college this week. There was a question that came up in the exam paper that's going to come up. Apparently, the big problem is female entrepreneurs is now a big problem with entrepreneurship. Apparently, we're not getting a lot of them.
Yeah, maybe because we just can't be asked.
Maybe the feminists should stop shutting down those female entrepreneurs.
Oh yeah,
full circle.
Oh gosh, speaking of that stuff, I actually was gonna say this for my own little podcast and such, but since we're here, screw it. How about that Star Trek Discovery?
I'd like to talk about it, but I really gotta go.
All right. I will. Okay.
Here's what we can do. Let's let TR go. Have a great time, you cheating bastard. To go into a different podcast. You deceptor.
What can I say? What can I say, laughing man? It's more pleasurable in the other bed. At least they look, laughing man.
No, seriously, have a good time. But then Kahuna Drake says she has another topic before she goes, so we'll let her jump in this topic. And then Duke, what you want to talk about Star Trek? I'm going to put in a feeler and see who else wants to join you in a Star Trek discussion. So Kahuna Drake, go ahead and give us your 2 bits.
Okay, so Joker origin story movie with Martin Scorsese on board and Leonardo DiCaprio pegged to be the Joker.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it has nothing to do with the DC movie universe at all.
Oh, I actually talked about this on my podcast on the DukeCT Lounge. Cheap plug. But I know Laughing Man's about to eject me for saying that.
No, I say plug away, dude. Go ahead and do it, man. You're paying the expenses of Mel, so.
But yes, it is. I talked about this, and I was just really I said this before. I'm like, this just really is disappointing. Is that they're rushing, put all these origin stories not connected. I mean, all this stuff is just they're trying so hard to rush these things out, but I need quality control. So it was will about Marvel, but there's actually a plan. There's no plan in the DC thing. That's the frustrating thing.
Yeah.
Someone should just step back. And no, I'm not dissing Martin Scorsese. I'm not dissing Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not dissing any of them. But I think there should be a plan. Say, hold on to Joker origin movie. Stop there. But don't do that Joker with Harley Quinn movie, which is going to piss off many people. If they do it the right way, it's going to piss off feminists. If you do it the wrong way, they'll still piss off them because, you're not telling the right story. Even though if you did tell them the right story, oh, God, you imagine how many hot takes like Warner Brothers are okay with beating women. How dare them doing this type of stuff? Like, even if, yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. It's like if they did do the hardcore way of like the Harley Quinn story, like from Mad Love, and to a live action movie, you know how many people the hot takes and that they would be Warner Brothers they'd be like you'll see the feminists with it. Yeah, it would be the feminists would be using the tiki torches after them. Just saying.
Well, the worst thing I think you could do for the Joker, and I think this includes actually the Killing Joke, although the Killing Joke I'll get to in a minute. Worst thing you can do is give him an origin story.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
And I think like the Killing Joke kind of works because it's kind of vague as to whether or not it's actually real or not. But if you give him a defined origin story, it ruins the whole mystery. The point is that you don't know who he is, where he came from, what he's got planned. You know, that might just be me, but...
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's just, I mean, I understand there are some good stuff in the Killing Joke. There's that nice seeing him, the Joker, doing that nice monologue, which I say that was actually pretty good. I like that monologue when he was talking to Batman and such. But other than that, I don't think there was really and the idea of Joker was fine, but it just was handled. It wasn't really handled well. That's the problem. Even Alan Moore looked back on it and said this wasn't really. It's an origin story that didn't really have an origin story. That's the one thing he really looks back at it and everything like that. And when Alan Moore says, you know what, that's not really a good story, you know, maybe it's just like to stop the break. Because by the way, can we stop on the DC animated user? Stop giving Batman any more blowjobs. Can we just stop that, please?
That was Nightwing, man.
No, I'm tired of the
show
Batman animated stuff. I'm sick and tired of it. I mean, there's a whole roster. You can't do a Wonder Woman thing because Wonder Woman seems to be making all the money right now. They all love Wonder Woman, but instead, no animated movie for Wonder Woman. No animated stuff for Justice League. If it is, it's Batman focused. There's no stuff about Superman or Flash or like say Green Arrow or anything else. It's Batman and Batman and Batman and Batman. The point you just want to just tell Warner Brothers just stop. Just someone like some other company just take Batman away and just have an embargo. So DC say, you know what, you can't use Batman no more. You gotta use the other people.
Well, there is a Flashpoint movie coming soon, and Jeffrey D. Morgan is pegged to play Thomas Wayne, which I'm so fucking psyched for.
That one actually looks pretty cool because I love the Thomas Wayne Batman. It's like Punisher, much more fun.
But yet somehow he's still. I love the fact that even after all this stuff, he has no gadgets, no anything else. All he has is his 2 guns, and he's okay. And funny enough, the original Batman back in the early, like in the 30s and such, when he was ripping off the Shadow, he actually had a pistol. He had a piece, and he took people out. So. I'm surprised they didn't do anything with that.
Did we ever talk about the Batman and Harley Quinn animated movie and how cringe it was?
I know I didn't watch it because you told me not to.
Nat, you said you were going to like a matinee or something in the UK.
Yeah, they were showing it in the cinema, and me and my friends were gonna go, but then you said it was shit.
Yeah, I sent you a message. I'm like, save your money, don't go watch it because I managed to find a copy of it. And despite it having some,
he found a copy. It was just lying there.
Yeah, just lying there. You know, on
I actually might do a review of that because I might actually do more animated stuff. And by the way, I'm doing some more like editing for my next review and everything. And God, it just takes too long. I hate editing stuff by myself. I wish I was actually more have more people follow me so I can actually get people to actually edit the stuff.
That's why you get a co-host.
Exactly. So Natalie, are you available?
Well, you know what, Duke? We'd be happy to cast, and then we'd be on one of your podcasts, and we'd do like a trade sort of thing.
Oh, so trade the one of your white people for the black guy? That'd be nice. A racial draft or something like that.
We'll auction ourselves off.
Oh wow!
God. We're gonna mend the country, Duke.
Oh yes, that would be amazing.
Oh my God! Did anyone else see the video that the fucking BBC put out about digital blackface?
Oh, I saw bits and pieces of that, and that to me is just stupid. Oh. I'm gonna say it right now is stupid, and I don't care about anything else about this online stuff. Oh, this, that, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. It's all about actions. And the people who are still doing all this stupid, idiotic stuff just wants this poor little virtual signaling, but in the end means nothing. And you wonder why people, the left continue to lose elections and everything else.
Well, it's retarded. Like, do you not have anything bad in your life, anything else in your life to worry about? This is the thing that's bothering you.
Obviously not.
Yeah, it's because everyone's lives are so fucking good. We're actually looking for things to bitch about.
Could you imagine though if everyone was using white emojis and they said, "But where are all the black emojis? That's racist."
People are.
Yeah, didn't they do that?
Oh yeah, they just said black people can't. White people can't use black emojis, and white people can't. I'm like, it's just dividing, BS, and that's that's the reason why no one really just cares and such. It's driving me just up the wall, and. That's what it is. It just drives me insane.
Well, I heard somewhere, and I haven't checked into it myself though. But they said that in the DNC leaked emails that some members of like the political party were communicating with members of the media, and they're saying that the people are quote starting to wake up. I mean, get more political savvy, start taking more more action. And they said we need to have a race war, essentially.
Oh,
Keep down.
yes.
To keep us all divided, to keep us all down. But again, this is a conspiracy theory I heard. I have not looked into it. Haven't found a link on Wikipedia or anything. So
It's always
WikiPeaks. It's like Twin Peaks Wikipedia.
Yeah, like that would be a fun Wikipedia to have. Twin Peaks. It'd just be
It'd just be a bunch of words that don't make sense. Like last season of Twin Peaks.
Oh, basically Twitter. When you're watching Twitter at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
But
hey, Kahuna Drake, is there anything else you want to add?
No, that's pretty much my 2 topics. So
Okay.
I think I'm sorry if I bum rust you, Kahuna.
I know it's fine. Actually, I had a pretty good.
You have a free pass come on my live podcast, and you can bum rush me. So it'd be cool.
You guys should seriously like cross pollinate each other and stuff. I mean, like if you have like YouTube projects, get in touch with each other, talk with each other.
Oh yeah. I'm busy doing stuff like that right now, so everything is going. I'm editing like on a podcast right now, so I'm doing pretty well right now. So and some other stuff too. So it's gonna be real good. And oh wait, I think we're transmitting into another world right now.
What?
Somebody's
hissing.
Are doing number 1. I don't know. Somebody
Hissing or pissing?
Joe, don't tell me you're doing this thing in the bathroom.
Anyways, Kahuna, we're gonna let you go.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
We'll catch you on the Discord chat.
All right. Bye.
Bye. And well, let's talk a little about the
Star Trek, because I specifically asked Prankster Joe if he wanted to join you for a Star Trek discussion, so you two can hash it out.
Oh, Star Trek Discovery. Where do I begin on this thing? First off, so many lens flare. I want to just say this right now. If there's any more future shows, they should be no more lens flare. I'm done with the lens flare. No, but
they all go to the J.J. Abrams School of Directing now. I wouldn't be surprised if the new Blade Runner movies all lens flare as well.
I don't understand. It's just none of the old stuff they didn't need lens flare. Yeah, even the Orville doesn't have lens flare. So I'm loving the Orville. That's why I'm loving that show right now for that. And it felt more like Star Trek than this pile of crap. And first off, the main character is Michael is in a sociopath. That's what she is. And so she's pretty much sounds like a fan fiction character. And she was like, oh wow, she's this, she's raised with Vulcan and all the other stuff, and I'm like, okay, but she's not acting really logical. In fact,
I can kind of understand that she's trying to balance the two sides. I agree, it's not that well implemented though. The thing that truly bothers me though is the fact that she's magically the half sister of Spock. Am I wrong in that?
Oh yeah, she's like the half, like Sarah, because Lord knows
that's the thing that really bothers me about that character.
It's like Spock's like random half brother from Star Trek V. Like, oh, you didn't mention? Like, seriously? Why? Why would you put that there? And also, I would say this is actually for my positives. I should have brought this up first. The positives. I love the captain, the first captain there. I'm like Michelle Yeoh. I was like, man, she's actually pretty good. I wish they could do the show based on her because she's likable, funny, in control, she's like very smart, and I'm like, man.
Ironically, the best character for that role is in a TV show where they don't focus on the captain.
Yeah, and it just everything else seems to be good, but overall, I look at the show and I'm like, man, it's just I just did not like this. I just didn't like it. And the Klingons. What happened? I gotta show y'all the Klingons because y'all didn't believe us. I'm gonna show this to Klingons. I'm gonna put this in Discord chat and everything else. The new Klingons for Star Trek. It's
I want to see your images. It's pretty crazy. I have to admit.
Oh God, you're gonna be like, what in the world? And it's even better because look what. Just look if I could find. I mean, the video clips as well as just the way they speak too. I'm like, look, I mean, they sound like they all have Down syndrome. That's what it is. I'm like, oh Lord, they're the lost Travis Claus, or they're the ones from the special bus right now. I'm like, oh Jesus, they're the special ones. So they have like a training by chief right there. Just don't cut themselves. Those type of Klingons, and it's just the way they speak. I'm like, oh, that's they're special.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, he looks like a shark.
Yeah.
Yes, they look. I mean, look at this, and I wish I can find. I don't want to show the video. You should look us up. The video where they speak like, I'm like, dude, take the mothball.
Take the dick out your throat.
Yes, and speak. And I'm like, the Klingons of the later. I'm like, they sounded clean. They sounded they actually sounded like human being, like living creatures you can sit there and understand. The old series and everything else, especially
that's the point of the Klingons. They're supposed to be like this, aggressive warrior species that you should be at the very least, a little bit intimidated by. Here it's like, oh, it's an alien.
Yes, they're intimidating, yes. But then they're like, we're going to get you. I'm like, no, just stop. And I'm like, and by the way, I do love the fact that, did you see the first 2 episodes? I saw the first 2 episodes.
I saw the pilot. I haven't gotten around to the second yet.
Oh, the second one is like, the pilot was actually decent. I will say that. But the second episode, oh boy. First off, you had the end of the first episode. She tried to do a Vulcan nerd pinch, which I love the fact that she couldn't do it right. In fact, even that dude from Spaceballs did act better than her. So the white guy who's not Vulcan better than the black girl. That's nice.
Damn.
The raised with the black raised with Vulcans can't do the Vulcan nerd pinch. If I ever do a video of you, I'm probably gonna do that. I know it's hackneyed. She's gonna probably like can't do it right, and you're like, I don't know. You gotta go and find the shoulder. There it is. And then that sort of stuff, because that's just and then she tried to mutiny but fail the thing, and then she was like, you have to go and attack the Klingons, and then the Klingons went and attacked them, and and they tried to do all that stuff, and then even better, she escaped. They had Sarek use the Force. Sarek used the Force to contact her. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not at this point?
It's a Star Wars, Star Trek crossover coming soon.
Yeah, and then to contact her, and then after that, she gets out of the holding cell, and then convinces the captain to go on this mission, this suicide mission, after they disabled the Klingon ship, which was a pretty good plan. They disabled the ship, and then after that, by the way, they didn't send anyone else. They just sent the captain and the first officer. I'm like, do you not have anyone else that can do this? I know most people on the ship, but you want to have some, like, maybe a dude, someone who's actually a dude, a couple of people in that position, instead of just saying,
they need a Deus Ex SJW.
Oh yeah, someone other than these two. I don't get that. I don't get the fact that you had to have like the two. That's the thing with Star Trek too. Why have your 2 top-ranking officers do this type of mission instead of having at least? I think if they just sent the first officer, then I would see that. I'm like, okay, you send Michael down to redeem herself after the whole mutiny thing. Hey, that's a good storyline. And see if she succeeds or fails. Not send the captain, which, by the way, she dies. Yeah, she dies. Really? Yep, she
Spoilers.
dies. Oh yeah, she dies. And that was actually, she dies, and then Michael used the phaser gun. Instead of having it on stun, she set it to kill and killed the Klingon leader. And now the Klingon leader is now going to be a martyr, and thus starts the whole Klingon Federation feud for like 10 or 15 years of how long it ever lasts. I don't know. When did the whole Klingon and that thing, it started from this until ended, I think, around Undercover Country. So
I think so, yeah.
So yeah.
I mean,
by the way, that was a really underrated movie. By the way, I mean, that is a really good movie.
Undiscovered Country,
Oh yeah,
definitely. Of the original ones, it wasn't. I didn't think it was one of the better ones. I will say.
I think it was a great finale, a great farewell to the old crew. I think it was, and just something really good. I really enjoyed that movie.
But back to Discovery for a second. Do you think that we're headed towards? I know this is a controversial opinion. Towards an Enterprise scenario where it starts off like either strong or decent, and then it just gets progressively worse.
I think there is some good stuff here, but I think it's going to be killed off because CBS tried to put this on the tip of the spear of their whole, oh my gosh, the CBS All Access type of streaming service.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
Which, by the way, the reason why I got the second episode, I pretty much got it through other means, but I'm not gonna say what. I don't want to take the stream down.
It was just laying there. You just saw it.
Just laying there. They're right there. So, and that's gonna be an issue because it was the episodes were pirated. Shocker, because when you have a. By the way, it costs like you get it costs $6 for the cheapest one. You could get all the CBS shows, but they have limited commercials. You have to pay at least like $10 or $11 to get everything ad free. So that's gonna be fun. So I have to pay $9, $10 just to watch basically all the CBS shows, which I don't care about, and I'm gonna only watch basically a show that pretty much looks to be like a binge-worthy show, which is what that single purpose of Star Trek Discovery is going to be more binge-worthy, and they're releasing it on a week-to-week basis. Yeah, that's not set up for fail, right? That doesn't set up for failure.
Yeah,
that sets up perfectly. Yeah, I expect the series to fail, even if it was great. I mean,
to fizzle out.
Yeah, I will say this: even if the show was the greatest premiere ever, I still would have very high. I would have high reservations of it because of the streaming service. Because of that streaming service, and when you have that, you're like, should I, do something? Should I do anything like? Should I join the?
Yeah, I'm getting some static.
Dang it! They found me. They knew what I actually found it on. Crap! I didn't mean it. I ruined the stream. I'm sorry.
You did. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Shame on me. But honestly, I would not trust a CBS to the streaming service. They should just put this on Hulu. If they would have put this on Hulu or Netflix or any other places to just release all the episodes there, you wouldn't have this issue. But I'm like,
but everybody needs their own service now.
Yeah,
but they use a competitor.
Yeah, but I think it's going to blow back on them, and this thing falls. I would not be surprised that Netflix did pay some of the money for the production value, for doing all the production and everything else. I'm betting CBS, the streaming service, fails, and all Star Trek Discovery episodes will be streaming on Netflix by 2018, or latest by 2019.
I was going to say 2018 is a pretty optimistic guess.
I think okay, then maybe 2019 or the latest 2020.
Yeah, I think that's a little more fair. I just don't, unless this somehow becomes a big success, which is highly unlikely. I'm thinking maybe it goes for 2, maybe 3 seasons before it fizzles out, and then it shows up. If maybe not on Netflix, but on, like you said, Hulu or something like that.
I think it's going to be the run is going to be on Netflix though. I think they're going to switch. That's what I was meaning. I mean, I think the streaming service is going to fall, and by 2019, you will see the whole show on Netflix, and it will probably have a better response too. I think it will have a better engagement, and it will probably have like, man, I can't wait to because honestly, this seems
it just occurred to me actually. Isn't all the Star Trek TV shows at least on Netflix right now?
Yep, all of them.
Okay.
And by the way, and before I head out and get back to my editing and go back to eventual live stream, they actually have one preview for Enterprise. They said this was before phasers, before teleporters. I'm like, they still use phasers and they still have teleporters. on the show. So even they,
Yeah.
even Netflix are like, look, we don't even give a fuck about Enterprise. Just throw some random words up here and just keep it moving. God, I try watching some of the stuff on Enterprise, and I just get madder and madder because that captain.
I will say, Enterprise deserves the shit it gets, especially for that god fucking horrible finale. But
gosh, yes,
there are diamonds in the rough in that TV show, especially in season 4.
yes, but then again, it started off when they had to do space alien Nazis. I'm like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree. It had a rough start. If they put like season 4 as either the first season or even season 2, I think we would at least be seeing that show for a lot longer.
Space Nazis season 2.
No. The episodes of season 4 in season 2 is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, but that's the problem with Enterprise. No one really cared about it, and by the way, Captain Archer, I would say, is probably the worst. I mean, heck, I think there was actually forums. I think the reviewer said to read in his forums. They actually asked this that which was the worst fictional captain of all time, and they put they say Captain Archer. And honestly, I can't think of any worse leader ever than him. I mean, the Black Bolt from Inhumans comes quite close, but nothing could compare to Archer. Saying he's a great diplomat, but somehow bringing his dog to diplomatic meetings. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I'm like, did anyone check this stuff out? I mean, I actually read like fan fictions of people from Star Trek that would look at this and call this be like, what are you doing? This is terrible. You're undermining your character. He says he's a great diplomat, but he's doing all these mistakes. Unless he's unless that. And by the way, maybe it's just me. Again, I keep rambling. And tell me to shut up and kick me off, whatever. But if he's supposedly such a great diplomat, how many times do you see him basically just ruin everything? If Archie just sit back and shut up, how many shows and stories would be like, you know what? It wouldn't have been that big of an issue at all. Because I watch some of that, I'm like, man, if you just sat back and shut up.
It's like I really want to like Archer too. I mean, I think there are good qualities about him. I'm probably a little more sympathetic to him than I should be. But he's an idiot. I mean, the worst thing I can think of was when he took the dog to the planet with. By the way, they had already pissed off the alien species.
Oh, that's what I was talking about too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pissed him off, and yeah, he went to with the dog, and he pissed on that tree, and some of the dog's sick, and then he blames the aliens because the dog got sick. Like, but man, if you didn't bring your dog, you wouldn't be in this situation. I'm like, this is the best Starfleet has to offer. This is supposedly the people that can sit there and say, hey, this is the guy that started the Federation. I'm like, this dude, this guy was the basis for Picard, the basis of before Picard, before Cisco, before even Janeway. This was the person. This was the guy that set all this up. Before even Kurt, this was the guy that set all of this up. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm about to head out.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, man. See y'all later. Peace.
Catch you later, man.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, now we're bringing in Jacob and Hidden's on our way for the great mother conversation.
Oh, joy.
Because Joe sounded like he wanted to talk about mother, and then I asked everyone in the chat who wants to talk about that, and they're like, us.
But
all right, let us know how this biblical analogy goes.
I mean, it's like a biblical analogy, but it's just done in just such a weird way, especially in the last... I said 20 minutes, but it's more like 20 to 30 minutes towards the end. Hello. And I like what he did with it. I thought there were certain aspects of the storytelling which were really good, but then there were other aspects of it that was pretty awful, in my opinion. The worst part, like, he tries to tell things in a specific way, like towards the Adam and Eve analogy and then the Cain and Abel analogy, and certain things like when Eve shows up the night before, Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem and what's his face, I guess you could call him Adam, was like in the bathroom and there was a wound by his ribs. And then Eve shows up the next morning, and she's like, "Oh, well, that's the Adam and Eve analogy." Then a little while later, you know, these two guys just literally show up out of nowhere, and they just start fighting. Like, okay, what the fuck is going on? It's only later that you kind of like, was that Cain and Abel? So, I don't know. What did you guys think of that?
Personally, I really liked the movie. Hold on, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I personally liked the movie, but I kind of agree. There were some aspects that I felt like they went a little too literal on, like the whole rib cage injury and everything like that.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that you could almost interpretate. Yes, that's a word. You can almost interpret it in other ways too, like kind of what an abusive relationship's like. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No, you're all right.
There's a lot of different interpretations, and I feel like the biblical aspect really didn't really show up until the end for me personally. I don't know.
I mean, did anyone here read the book that it's based on?
There's a book?
Wait, that was based on a book?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bible.
Oh, okay. I thought you were fucking with me for a second.
No, it is based on a book.
Oh.
I gotta Google this shit. No.
It's a young adult novel.
Click to Amazon. Young adult? What?
Wait.
Yeah. It's a young adult novel.
Wait. A book about a family cannibalizing a newborn baby is right next to Twilight. I can understand it.
No. Okay. It doesn't show up on Wikipedia.
By the way, spoilers.
Look, I'll look it up and post it.
Fair enough.
Waiting a long time because it's bullshit.
Okay, so in light of that information, now I'm even more disturbed by that movie. But I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that it could be interpreted in many different ways. I just think that the ways he does it confuses the narrative a little bit.
Yeah, I think the average moviegoer, I actually went and saw this with my parents, and I just remember near the end of the movie, they were just like the whole time, what the fuck's going on? I don't understand what's happening. I don't think the average moviegoer would have saw the movie and been like looking at interpretations as much as they'd just be thinking, what's this clusterfuck supposed to be?
Well, it's definitely an art movie. I think he basically made an art movie and someone in marketing said, okay, we need to get a bigger audience here, so we're going to market it as a horror movie.
Yeah, I thought that was a little confusing because when I first went into the movie, I thought it was supposed to be a horror movie. I didn't want to spoil anything for myself, so I didn't do a lot of research. And then when we actually went and saw the movie, there wasn't really a horror aspect other than like some imagery here and there, and I think a lot of people were disappointed by that as well.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's still a good movie. I enjoyed it.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm glad I saw it. I'll probably, see it again at some point. I just think it's might be a tad. Well, I was gonna say a tad overrated, but I don't think everybody has the same opinion generally.
Well, I heard that it was like just really messy, but I don't know. I haven't actually seen it.
The movie, I will say, there is one part towards like the 3/4 of the way in where there's just like a clusterfuck inside the house. I mean, it's literally a clusterfuck inside the house, and that's when things like, I think, what would be the best way to describe it without spoiling it? Like hidden when the military comes in.
Oh yeah, I think
that's when things like got really hit the fan. Like, okay.
Well, those were obviously supposed to be like interpretations for like war and stuff, but I think the best way to really look at it is rather than like a Bible aspect. From what I understand, the interpretation is quote unquote the rape and torture of Mother Earth. So when you kind of look at Jennifer Lawrence's character as like Earth in the aspect of how it's been treated by humanity and God, it makes a little more sense. But I feel like to an extent near the end with the whole just clusterfuck that happened, it was more it was pretty sloppy. I feel like it could have definitely been directed a lot better than it was.
What is that buzzing sound?
That's probably my phone. Yeah.
It's a loud ass phone.
Phones on the podcast, blasphemy.
Let's see. Jacob has joined us like 3 or 4 times now.
Hello.
Yeah, he keeps like.
He's having audio problems. He can't hear us or talk.
Allegedly. But what did you think of the ending? I'm interested about that.
It was. At first, it was like a little confusing, but I also kind of like the concept, like starting, like you basically. Again, it's kind of looking at the aspect of, oh, God's just letting people fuck up Earth. And so at the end, your Earth is now destroyed, quote unquote. And so we're just kind of starting over again. And I don't know, it leaves a little to the imagination. How many times have we gone through this cycle? So and so. I think it's an interesting interpretation.
What I don't understand is like, why would they just do it over and over again?
Because we don't learn.
Okay, that's actually a good point. I think it's just, I don't know. That scene just, I go back and forth. Like, I understand the whole reincarnation cycle, and I think it's a clever concept in the movie. I just don't understand the why, really. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
As for why the director did it, not sure. As for like from the standpoint of the God character, the God character is very flawed in his and just kind of the way he thinks about humanity.
Okay.
And throughout the whole movie, even though he sees that these people are distressing his wife, he's still just over and over again, just forgive them. Don't think too much about it. They don't know what they're doing, and I feel like to an extent the reason why he keeps starting over and over again is because he just wants to give humanity another chance because he keeps forgiving them. That might be why they did the reincarnation cycle.
Interesting. Oh God, drink my water. Where is it?
Can I just say, can everyone stop pretending that Jennifer Lawrence is the best actress ever?
What? You don't think she's the best actress? Blasphemy. Where are you? We need to take away your internet.
Get the fuck out of here, Nat. No, I mean, I think she did okay, but she definitely wasn't the best. I think personally, I'm glad she's finally playing a character that isn't Katniss.
Yeah. I mean, I think she was bored during certain parts, at least in certain parts of the movie.
Yeah.
But then when it got to the parts where she legitimately gets angry and like protecting her child, that's when it's like, oh, look, Jennifer Lawrence is actually giving a shit. Because, look, she's not the greatest actress ever, but she is a talented actress, though.
Yeah, she just has strong points in some areas and weaknesses in other. I definitely agreed with the whole bored part. She definitely looked very bored during the first good half of the movie.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. But she's been like that for a little while though. Not just a mother, but also
I think that she would put in effort in her earlier roles, but then as she got more popular, she kind of became a bit too egotistic and just was like, okay, I'm the best actress ever. I mean, I can't go wrong here. Like, did you see that press conference where like she was doing a press conference and like some dude was on his phone? Like there was a bunch of journalists in front of her and one of them was on his phone, and she fucking called him out and was like, "Oh, if you put down your phone," and like, don't be that.
Oh God, I remember that.
Don't be a cunt, right? There's just no need for that. Fuck off.
I mean, I guess that's what you can call like Hollywood syndrome, which is, you know, all these people that are very good, very talented actors, they get popular and they become an ego.
Like, I liked her in Silver Linings Playbook. That's probably my favorite thing she's been in. Mm-hmm. But other than that, and like the early Hunger Games, the last Hunger Games, don't even fucking talk to me about that, right?
Wait, which Hunger Games?
Hunger Games.
The last one.
Oh yeah, that one. Well, that was also a box office disappointment. Everybody was somehow surprised.
Well, yeah. To be honest, the book half of that kind of sucked as well, and a lot of people agreed the third book is the weakest one in the series. It just ends horribly. Like it almost felt like it was rushed. There was a lot of pacing issues. Like it takes a long time to get started, and then like towards the end, everything just happens way too quickly.
I mean, fair enough, but you know, at least in the movie, I think they did it a little bit better. and even in the movie, the one advantage that they do have is that it moves pretty quick. But still, I was not impressed with her performance in that. What was the other one that she was bored in? X-Men Apocalypse. Literally the ending scene in that, I was just crying laughing. She's like, "You're X-Men now." It's like, huh? Oh, we're acting now.
Yeah.
I love how like X-Men and Marvel in general is just like stealing actors from Game of Thrones because they know that, you know, they've only got one season left, so they have to find other work.
So yeah, and they get to bring the star power with them.
It's like Sophie Turner is Jean Grey, and then Macy Williams is going to be mini Wolverine. I can't remember her name in it now. Like the Wolverine type character, whose name I can't think of. Ramsey was supposed to be in that Inhumans TV show, which I heard is terrible.
You know, everybody raves on Game of Thrones. I'll be frank. Sophie Turner, and who's the other one?
Macy
Like
Williams?
No, not that one. I'll remember her name. I mean, I don't think she's a very good actress, to be rather blunt.
Yes. Matt will tell you that I've been saying this for fucking ages. She's terrible.
I mean,
which one is this?
Sansa.
Sansa. Well, you also complain about what's her name?
Emilia Clarke.
Yes, Emilia Clarke too.
Yes, that's it. She was awful.
Emilia Clarke is so terrible. This is what I said before: is that they have British accent syndrome, where you can be the worst actor ever, but if you say something with a British accent, people will just assume that it's an amazing performance.
That's why people love you here.
Because listen, as soon as these British actors, who everyone lauds as amazing, as soon as they do a film where they have to use an American accent, people see through it and they're like, "Fucking hell, man, what?" Because Sophie Turner, I mean, I kind of thought she was shit all along. I think she was cast early on because she was cute, and then she kind of turned out kind of average looking.
she started out cute, and then oh god.
Yeah. Like in Game of Thrones, everyone's like, "Oh, Sansa's so beautiful," and I'm like, "Is she? Like, what?"
In the books, yes, she is. Isn't there also that one illustrated picture of?
There's a fucking Game of Thrones coloring book where everyone in it looks identical to their TV counterpart, except Sansa, who they beautifuled up
significantly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Macy Williams is great. I think maybe she's kind of gotten a bit lazy in this latest season, but early on she was really good.
Her eyebrows, though.
I think she's She is a good actress, but I think she is overrated, though.
Yeah, but then like Emilia Clarke, man. So everyone was like, "Oh, she's amazing," and then she goes into fucking Terminator Genesis, and it's like, "Oh, actually."
Oh my god! Don't even get me started on that.
I think Emilia Clarke just has a lot of good writing for her to fall back on. That's all that's propping her up. Because she's terrible,
and she has to act monotone and queen-like, which is her acting style.
Well, it's like she was like, okay, when it got to season 4, she was like, I'm signing a contract. I'm not going to do nude scenes anymore. I want to be known for my acting. And then she was in Terminator Genesis, and everyone was like,
no,
she can't fucking act. She's terrible.
No.
She's like, oh, okay, here's my tits. It was like
the very next season of Game of Thrones, it's like, see, I got talent. Look at them both.
Jesus.
But no, man. So Sophie Turner in X-Men, her accent, Jesus fucking Christ.
It was non-existent, or she didn't even try, I should say.
I saw the end of the world.
Like,
God.
Oh my god. They want her to be Jean Grey. So basically, the next X-Men movie is going to be like, 50% of X3. Essentially,
most likely.
Can I just, since we're talking about like films again, can I just say I'm sick and fucking tired of origin stories? Why does everything has to have an origin story? Why does Alien need to have an origin story?
Because we need to know where the aliens come from. Because that way it takes away all the mystery.
The burning questions.
Whatever happened to just letting people make up their own origin stories, leaving it up to the imagination? Why do we need to know where the alien came from?
And that's what Red Letter Media was.
The sheeple.
That's what Red Letter Media did when they were.
Why.
Red Letter Media complained about the exact same thing about the Han Solo movie.
I mean, to be fair, I do think origin stories can be important, especially in the Marvel universe. We get origin stories for I would say lesser known comic book characters, like Doctor Strange is a good example, actually. I think what we need to do is move away from, okay, we've established, everybody knows Superman, everybody knows Batman, most people know Wonder Woman. I think we need to like move away from those origin stories and then give them to the lesser known guys.
Okay, but sorry. Okay, go on. I was going to say, I think what you were trying to get at was more along the lines of why are we making an entire movie based on an origin story instead of making that a part of just the movie?
Well, that, but also like some things are better when you don't explain where they came from and like, you know, the details. We don't need to know that. It's like fucking the latest season of Sherlock where they went back and were like, oh, he has a secret sister. It's like, the fuck? No.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree with that. Where an origin story isn't necessary per se, like or it can be told within a narrative, like in flashbacks. But they can be short and helpful. Like during what was it, Captain America: Civil War, when they did like the little thing, you know, where they introduced the king of Rwanda, or I don't know what the fuck is Wakanda. That's what it is. And you know, the king dies, the prince becomes king. I thought that was perfect. Got to the point. And, you know, we can move on from that. Somebody playing drums?
One second. I just got to go turn the light on because it's getting dark in here. 1 sec. Okay, I'm back.
Womp, 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 womp. Click. Womp, 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 womp.
Shut up. Right. No.
Hello.
Hello.
It's you.
It's you.
No, but it's and also in terms of Batman, I'd be more than happy if we didn't see any of the Joker for a while. I'm so sick of the Joker, like.
Yeah. Because
first of all, they're doing him wrong, right? No one can tell me Jared Leto's version of the Joker is okay. Like, piss off.
Pretty fucking far from
and
okay.
Also, Batman has some fucking really interesting villains that don't get any fucking spotlight in these movies. Yes, exactly.
Riddler.
That's what I'm saying. The next movie should be the Riddler, right? And Michael C. Hall from Dexter should play the Riddler. And it should be like the Riddler finds out who Batman is and steals all his money, so he can't pay for all his gadgets and his crime fighting shit. But he doesn't know where the Riddler is, or nobody can track him down because he's a genius hacker, right? He's a computer dude. So he tracks down Catwoman, who's like locked up in prison or whatever, and he says, if you get me my money back, I'll free you. You can go. So Catwoman and Batman have to work together to find the Riddler. And like maybe he sets up like jigsaw type traps like he does in kind of like the games. And then Catwoman has to like outsmart him.
Kind of like that one mission in is it Arkham City or is it Arkham Knight where Catwoman plays and has to infiltrate Riddler's lair and takes all his money.
Arkham City, if I'm not mistaken.
No, regardless, I not a bad premise, but I kind of like if it was closer to like a game of cat and mouse where Batman and the Riddler are trying to figure out who each other are. Whoever unmasks the other one first wins.
Well, there's just so many Batman characters that never get any spotlights. We have to focus on the Joker. What about Poison Ivy? We've only just got Harley Quinn on screen. Although, to be honest, I'm not.
Well, a fucking eco-terrorist nymph probably isn't all that interesting yet.
Didn't they try that once?
Yeah, with fucking Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman, yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that movie. Hello.
Oh my God, Jacob's finally here.
Oh, it's about fucking time. Jesus Christ.
5 people have come in.
I was gonna cycle people out, and I guess we can keep Undone in for a second longer. But I was gonna cycle out Joe, and we can keep Hidden in for a few more minutes. So if the ladies wouldn't mind staying at the side for just a little bit longer.
Oh, you're kicking me out?
Yeah, I'm booting you.
You don't like me? Okay, I'll remember this.
Bioshock is pretentious. Go away. Joking.
No, I'm not going to leave. Secretly the Riddler, actually. All right, have a good night.
Catch you later.
Oh god, noise.
Clickety click click.
So, have you guys heard about the new Del Toro movie that's coming out soon?
Oh, Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard that
the not Hellboy prequel.
Well, no. I heard that it was an idea he's had since he was a kid, because he watched Creature from the Black Lagoon, but when he was a kid. But he used to think, wouldn't it be great if she fell in love with the creature from the Black Lagoon? So this is kind of like his version of that.
Jesus Christ! It sounds like Lovecraft fan fiction. The deep one. Oh my god! Have you guys ever seen Neonomicon by Alan Moore?
Nope. Is it Neonomicon or Necronomicon?
No, Neonomicon. It's Necronomicon, but this one's Neonomicon, and it's basically a Lovecraftian comic book, except the premise is the Lovecraft was actually like a sex fiend, and all the stuff like the monsters with the tentacles and the ooze and the orifices is all just like his sexual deviancy. And
it's hentai.
Yeah, basically. Well, seriously, that's what it is. And then what happens is there's two detectives trying to discover like who this shady character is, and they're trying to infiltrate this Lovecraft sex cult. And the male detective gets killed, and they have like this big orgy in the water in like a swimming pool, and then it brings in one of the fishmen monsters, and he basically rapes the female detective.
Jesus fucking Christ!
It's pretty fucked up.
Didn't Lovecraft hate sex though?
He was
afraid of it.
He never got enough of it to really know. I don't think. There was what's her name, Sonia Green, I think is what her name was, but he was kind of
He was very introverted. His dad went insane.
Yep, from syphilis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of fishmen raping women, that's kind of what I was going to bring up. I heard there's a lot of controversy about the supposed fish sex scene that's going to be in the movie, and they're debating about whether they're going to release it in theaters or not.
Oh god. What is it with? I bet the Japanese would eat it up. Like
this is how
You're not kidding.
Abe happens. I will put money down, like in the stinger of the movie Abe is born.
Abe
Sapien.
Oh yeah.
Help me. Oh my god.
Hellboy.
Oh, yeah. Isn't there a new Hellboy coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard there's a reboot.
Yeah. Ron Perlman's not going to be in it. All I see Ron Perlman do nowadays bitch on Twitter about Trump. Like literally, that's all I ever see him do.
Oh, you mean like every other celebrity nowadays?
Yeah.
Yeah, but him specifically, because I follow him on Twitter, and like every 5 minutes he's just put up a new tweet, and it's like, man, give it a rest, get a life, like, come on.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm a little late to the party because apparently my internet has decided that Google Hangouts is a virus, and it doesn't want to give me any kind of access whatsoever.
Oh, your computer's smart then, because Google is.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is a virus.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We upgraded our router, and it's only caused us problems. And it's a pain in my ass. So I'm on my phone right now. I'm not running off of data because I can't connect to the fucking Wi-Fi.
Oh, speaking of hacks and origin stories, this is going to be a fucking Voldemort origin story.
Oh, Christ. Can J.K. Rowling just go away at this point? Rowling, growling, however the fuck you say it.
That's what Nat's been saying.
It's because, right, she wrote Harry Potter and she says, right, I'm done with it. I've done all the Harry Potter books. I'm going to write other shit now. And her other shit didn't sell as well because she's actually a shitty writer, right? So she's like, oh, okay, I'll just write more Harry Potter shit and just coast off that for the rest of my life.
And then, of course, all our fans are all these Tumblr tards who just worship the shit she writes, and so now she's catering to them. Gosh,
I never got into Harry Potter, believe it or not.
By the way, I read Harry Potter. I read Harry Potter when I was younger. It was the first book I ever read properly. I read the first one like on my own when I was 4, and like so,
Jesus shit.
Yeah, so like I kind of what.
That's just hilarious. Like so flippantly, like I read the first book when I was 4.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Well, no, I mean, like, I read it when I was 4, right? And then I read the next one over. And the original books I thought were good. But at heart, they're children's books, right?
Mm-hmm. They're very simple.
People don't need to take them seriously. I mean, it's hardly Lord of the Rings, right?
I don't take Lord of the Rings very seriously, honestly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I find people who like dress up as hobbits, not if they're going to Comic-Con and shit, but like people who, like in Matt's story, dressed up as hobbits playing D&D.
Oh God,
it's kind of sad.
Plastic feet and all.
Yeah, like my uncle, who's like he was actually sectioned, and he's like a huge Lord of the Rings nut, and he's like just got Lord of the Rings fucking everywhere in his house. I love Lord of the Rings, but Jesus fucking Christ.
You know where the line is, and you don't cross it.
Yeah, but like, and people just worship the ground that J.K. Rowling walks on. It's like, what?
I don't. I think she's batshit crazy.
She's not even that great a writer. Like a lot of literacy professors point to Harry Potter and they say it's actually very poorly written. If the story wasn't, you know, as
whimsical
solid as it was,
and yeah.
If it wasn't isekai, nobody would have known what it was.
Yeah, I mean, credit to
you guys know what that means, right? Is it isekai? I'm not very good with the.
Not sure.
It's an in another world kind of series.
Well, I mean,
I forget who. Go ahead.
I was going to say credit to J.K. Rowling for the world that she's built, but Jesus fucking Christ, leave it alone.
But she wants to make money.
She's already one of the richest women in the world.
No, it doesn't matter. Need money.
She needs money to house all those immigrants she's not going to house.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is that the original 8 books, that was the Harry Potter story, right?
There's 8 books? I thought there were 6.
Sorry, 7 books.
There's 7.
No, there's 7 books and there's 8 movies, sorry. But anyway, that's the series, right? Leave it alone. She brings out the play, The Cursed Child Part 1, which is, you know, great, which is like about Harry Potter's kids and about Harry Potter after he left Hogwarts. We don't need that. He's already had a story. Anything you do from now on is just going to ruin the fucking character. We don't need an origin. We don't need an origin story for Voldemort. We don't need it. And another thing as well. Whenever people start to get bored of her books, she makes up a random fact that is literally like not even mentioned in the books, and she goes, "Oh, by the way, did you know Dumbledore was gay? Oh, by the way, did you know Hermione was black? Oh, by the way, did you know this?" And it's like, no, you've just made that shit up.
Oh, by the way, did you know Harry Potter's owl was bisexual?
Jesus Christ.
And the fan fiction is writing itself.
Did you know Voldemort's name is pronounced Voldemort? Like, fuck off, J.K. Rowling.
Jesus.
It's French. You dropped the T.
Joy boy, what are you doing with that? Go fetch. Sorry, my dog just had surgery and he's not allowed to run around outside.
Aw.
Yeah, he is so bored.
Poor baby.
Okay, so my internet problems aside, have we talked about Mother yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm done.
Okay, well, I'll just leave. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna talk anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was fine.
Squeaky, squeaky. I thought it was squeak, squeak, squeaky, squeaky. I think squeak, squeak, squeaky.
Shut up, Matt.
The dog's doing Morse code saying, "Let me out."
Yeah, he loves that fucking lamb, dude. Yeah, I thought it was fine. I think it's gonna be better when I go baked like a potato, but it was fine. I think it helps that I only saw the one trailer once, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, like going in without any context. That's what I did too, and personally, I'm glad I didn't spoil anything for myself.
Just like, yeah, some of the religious tones were more ham-fisted than... Oh, let's see.
I think the beginning of the movie was
Brave
like fine, and then they really smashed the religious anvil over your head once it got towards the end.
It was more ham-fisted than Kermit's asshole.
More ham-fisted than Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh God.
Oh no,
That movie,
Bad movie though. Hey.
yeah,
Grave of the
that wasn't a bad
Fireflies?
movie.
Grave of the Fireflies
that's
is
not
the
bad.
most shame-on-you movie of all time, because there are better people than I that can explain this, but at the time it was made, it was at the height of the delinquency crisis in 80s Japan, and it was made basically as a shame on you. This is what your parents had to live through. Be empathetic towards them. Like, fuck off, guy.
But it was sad.
My grandparents.
That film made me cry.
And
it was beautiful.
What else did it do?
It made me feel emotions, and it made me think about things. It made me.
It's great, but it is definitely overrated.
Yeah, but I didn't say it
like
was the
5 centimeters per second put me in a depression for months. But I will sit down and pinpoint all the problems I have with that movie.
Yeah.
I was going to say something, and I can't remember what the fuck it was.
Anyway, I thought that Mother was fine. I think that the hate that is online for it is a little overdone, especially because Jennifer Lawrence got misquoted. Jennifer Lawrence got misquoted about the Trump protest. The Trump supporters protesting the movie.
Well, anything
Trump supporters protesting the movie.
No, like during an interview, I can't remember who it was with. I want to say it was E, but I think it was Entertainment Tonight. She was doing some interview to promote the movie, and like one of the interviewer asked her, like, since there's all these religious undertones or overtones, but like exactly, but like, well, this was before the movie came out. Like, given all the religious undertones, do you think that do you think Trump supporters are going to protest and boycott your movie? And she like, well, Jennifer Lawrence was Jennifer Lawrence. She buzzed her lips and says, "I don't know. They're free to do what they want. It's their time."
Why would Trump supporters boycott the movie because it was religious? What?
It was.
It's because they're lumped in the group.
Bad. Yuck.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Because Trump supporters are so protest ready.
Yeah, it's not because like the left protests on everything fucking imaginable.
Yeah, like women, wearing bikinis in coffee shops.
What coffee shops?
That's gotta be the
go to?
dumbest shit. Well, no, it's one of our earlier conversations that you missed out on.
Well, I was at work, dude.
Yeah, shame on you.
Yeah,
no,
that's
what I was going to say. Darren Aronofsky. Darren Aronofsky did Black Swan, which was a rip-off of an anime film, whose name I can't remember, but like he basically stole the plot of that anime film.
What are we talking about?
Black Swan.
Okay, for Darren Aronofsky directed Mother, which is kind of Rosemary's Baby, but not quite. And then before that, he made his name by directing Black Swan, which was the Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis ballet vehicle.
Yeah.
The only reason anyone watched it was because of the lesbian sex scene.
Well, I watched it because the girl that I was dating at the time wanted to see it. And I was desperately trying to get laid, so I jumped through every hoop that was provided.
Perfect Blue, that was it.
Oh,
that was the name.
Yeah, Perfect Blue is actually a pretty good movie. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely recommend it.
Yeah, Black Swan is basically a rip-off of Perfect Blue.
Really?
Oh, is that? Yeah, I've seen that. Well, sorta. There's a lot less celebrity worship.
Well, there's literally shots in the movie that are like identical. Like, hang on, I'll show you one.
Please.
Well, I'm on mobile, so.
I'll post it in the chat. 1 second.
Again, I'm on mobile. I found a rawhide for my dog, so he shuts up for a few seconds.
Okay, copy.
He's kind of like Matt. You give him a phallical device and he shuts up.
There we go.
And I chip a tooth.
Okay, I posted it in the chat.
Wait, Matt, you have teeth still?
Oh, a hole-shaped tooth. Whole shaped gap in my front teeth,
That's a comparison between Perfect Blue and Requiem for a Dream, if I'm correct.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He steals a bunch of stuff from other movies that barely anyone has seen, and is like,
hey now, decent artists make, good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Yeah.
Just look at Fubu.
To be fair, that's not the only
Aw,
anime movie.
don't-
Don't say that.
I made a jab at Fubu and Kit Kat didn't like it.
Oh.
He's picking out mom boob.
Anyways, I think I've overstayed my visit. I'll go ahead and head out now.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Hidden.
Thank you.
Bye, Ed.
Of course. See you guys.
I might let Jake go for that jab that he just tossed at me about phallic devices. So
Are you denying it?
I'm pleading the fifth. That's for all the fangirls out there.
Right here.
All right.
Clack,
well,
clack, 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 ching, clack, 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 ching.
that's. I don't know if that's me eating corn on the cob or if that's like a hand crank dildo hitting my fillings.
No, it's a typewriter.
And that's a little Miss Snorty.
No, but do you know what? If you need any more proof that Black Swan is just a rip-off of Perfect Blue, look at the protagonists' names. In Perfect Blue, it's Mima, and in Black Swan, it's Nina.
Wow.
Wow.
Brilliant. Well, apparently this guy doesn't have an original idea in his head.
But no, Matt, it's just you don't understand it because you're not smart enough to understand it.
I'm not a weeaboo.
It's above you.
Not a weeaboo.
Has Kitten said anything whatsoever? How long has she been on here?
I'm here.
I'm still trying to get my goddamn internet to work.
I thought that rattling sound was on Kitten's end. I'm like, what the hell is she? You wearing a dog collar or something?
Kinky.
Every girl has one.
What?
I have 3.
I do. I mean, I wish I could say something, but I'd be lying.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, we
Unfortunately,
do.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, okay. I'll go.
Don't be
I'm
mean.
sorry.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean.
Fine. Anyways, Jacob, I might let you go just because the 3 ladies here have been waiting. So,
Yeah, no problem.
all right, Jacob, thanks for joining us. And hope did you figure out what the hardware problem was though? So next time it's like,
I think it's the route. I think it's our router. Honestly, might have to go back to the old one.
gotcha. All right. Well, thanks for dropping in, and we will catch you hopefully next month. And if not, you snarky bastard, you're in our Discord app.
That's your. Oh, did Hidden ever get connected to that?
Yeah, I sent her a link.
Okay. All right. See you guys.
So everybody's in.
Yeah.
Later, dude.
Bye bye.
All right, we have Christina, Kitten, and NG. One of these things is not like the others.
What?
2 Ks and an E.
Oh.
A.
Isn't there a
3
isn't there a-
Ks.
Isn't there a 4th person? Oh no, there isn't.
No, that's Jacob.
Okay.
In the chat, Z is also floating around, and I can't remember who the other person was who was still.
You're on mute, Kitten.
I know, but even when I'm not, you can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
Should I bring in Z so that we kind of wrap everything up? I think Z is the only person who's left.
Go right ahead.
Over.
Yeah, go for it.
Yay! More the merrier.
Woo.
After I kick out Jacob, then I say more the merrier. I feel like a dick. Sorry, Jacob.
It's getting late outside, and my toes are starting to go numb.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's getting into overtime over here, so let's hit it hard and wrap up. All right, Z, join us.
One of us, Google gobble.
Okay.
Z says she can't join us.
Oh, okay.
Aww. Oh.
That's fine. I sent the invite anyway, but that's fine.
She's here with us
Fine.
in spirit.
Yep.
So what do you guys want to talk about?
I have a dumb story. Well, a dumb news story from Canada.
Go ahead.
Another one?
This one doesn't involve feminism, so you're okay. It's a story about drunk canoeing no longer being a driving offense in Canada.
Drunk canoeing?
Drunk canoeing.
Only in Canada, folks. Only in Canada.
Surely drunk canoeing is a problem that sorts itself out, right?
Yeah, it's called natural selection. They find the body a couple of days later.
Well, yeah, that's one of the dumb things I found here. Besides, Quebec man tried to join ISIS. He's getting 9 months in prison for trying to terrorize ex-girlfriend.
Fucking hell. That feeling when your girlfriend's a bitch, so you join ISIS.
I think that's just quite the extreme reaction. A little bit, maybe? Just a little?
I don't say it's enough.
Wasn't there an alt-right guy, I can't remember his name, that he was like a neo-Nazi online, and he was like, oh, I fucking hate Jewish women, like I hate all that. It turns out his wife was Jewish in real life.
Jesus.
Oh, the irony.
I can't remember what his name was, but...
He sounds like that one Dave Chappelle skit of the black
racist,
the blind black racist.
Yeah. I hate them black people, and it's like, all right.
I love the backstory where he goes to like the I guess the orphan home that he grew up in, and the old teacher's like, well, since everyone in the class was blind, we decided to make it easier on him and say that he was white. And then there's all these blind white kids in this picture. There's one black kid who looks like Ray Charles. It's right in the middle of it. Oh. Now, didn't you say that there's that Gene Wilder and
Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor movie.
Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
Yes.
And Richard Pryor is as a blind guy, and there's a scene where he's with his sister on a train, and his sister says to him like, "Oh, don't you know you're black?" And he goes, "I'm black. Does Dad know?"
Boom, boom.
No, what's even funnier is that Steve Martin film, The Jerk, where he's adopted by a black family, and his mum sits him down on his birthday and is like, "You're not really our child. You were left on our doorstep. We adopted you." And he went, "You mean I'm gonna stay this color?"
I always wondered, why was that always like the punchline of like a bad joke for adoptions? Don't get me wrong, it's sometimes funny, but who started that?
I think it's just a funny situational comedy.
No, don't get me wrong. My mom keeps telling all three of us we're adopted, and I go, yes, you accidentally adopted 3 children at the same time.
Oh, my mom does that all the time.
Yeah, I was chosen. Your mum stuck with you.
So has anybody seen it?
I did.
No, I haven't seen it. I've heard my friend Wade watched it, and he said that it's a remake where they actually fucking tried.
It is.
Just a cheap. Yeah.
The first one, very
actually
much
put effort into it. Like, yeah.
Like the first one, it's more comedy.
For some groups on the internet, it doesn't stick as close to the book as they'd prefer.
Just
when
where the child orgy at?
Anyways,
where the child orgy at?
Sorry.
Kit-Kat, go ahead and talk.
Yeah, there's way too much in the book to just put into a movie. You're going to have to need like so many movies, maybe like 4, just enough to fill it all in. But might as well just stick to the original. Just do like 2 movies, just like in the original. That was funny as hell, anyway.
I've only seen a bit of the original, and I think it was the latter part with the adults. And the only thing I remember about it is not even watching it, but me and my brother were just taking the piss out of the one guy with a ponytail because he had a ponytail.
Which one had a ponytail? I only remember by name.
I don't remember. Like, yeah, we just thought he had a horrible fucking ponytail, and every time he came on screen, we're like, "Ah, it's the ponytail!"
That might be Richie, actually. That might be Richie. Maybe. I don't know. I remember all this bullshit better.
Well, you think with after the opening of It, that would be like the birth of, that clown phenomenon, everyone just fucking around with by dressing up as like a clown, fucking around with people with clown. But no, that happened years later. How the hell does that work?
Yeah, wasn't there a thing last year where people were dressing up as clowns and like terrorizing people?
That was 2 years ago. Yep. Last year. Yeah, but yeah. Apparently, somebody took a red balloon into the movie theater and let it go right in the movie theater.
Oh, damn.
And everybody freaked out. It was so funny.
You know what I did see recently? I saw Kingsman 2.
Oh, how's that?
It's not as good as the first one, but I still thought it was alright. There's a lot of things that I would change about it that I didn't like about it, but on the whole, it was a pretty good movie. The action was pretty solid. But, like, there wasn't as much Channing Tatum in it as I thought there'd be, but apparently that's because he was meant to have a larger role, but there was like timing constraints, so he had to be cut from a majority of the movie, so Pedro Pascal took over a lot of his role.
Wonder why his time was so short.
Also, Elton John was in it as himself, and like at first it was funny, but then it just got really annoying after a while.
Why was he in there?
He was playing himself, right? And the premise is that the villain like kidnapped him so that he could perform for her whenever she wanted. And it was funny at first, then it got quite annoying, but then it got redeemed in the last scene he was in, where something happens that was so fucking funny, and I won't say it because it will probably spoil it for everyone.
Spoilers!
Just tell me later, because I'm probably not going to watch it. Or if you tell me, whatever, I don't watch a lot of stuff.
What is that noise?
That's a
That
puppy.
might be my dog.
Aw.
Oh.
It's Angel being a butt.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, bring the butt in.
The butt likes to hide in her boobs, so that might not be a good idea.
Come on, this podcast needs more butts. That's how you get the views.
And boobs. We need more boobs.
Yes.
I don't know. Those are the two only funny stories besides, Trump this and end of the world that, and
yeah,
people are terrible.
Apparently, the end of the world's on the 22nd. I was like, oh, last day of Comic-Con. Okay, that sounds fun.
Okay, that's good. I'm just at the best place ever, so yeah, bring it.
Yeah,
I heard the guy who was saying that the world was going to end. Like he said, "Oh, it's going to end on the 22nd," and this one guy was like, "I tried to book him for an interview, but he said he was only available after the 22nd."
The end of the world is happening, man. What is wrong with you? Clearly, this guy didn't buy his own bullshit.
I don't know. I think that would be a pretty good interview. So you were wrong. Tell me about that.
So you wasted your life.
Well, didn't they say like the end of the world was back in 2012, like in December?
Yeah,
they come up with a new date every couple of years. It's just a bunch of crazy people.
Or if you believe the conspiracy that the end of the world's already happened, and that explains all the fuckery that's happening with the world and politics and things. We're in some type of
Mandela effect.
We're in some alternate universe.
Did we enter the Matrix and forget about it?
I thought it was just a repeat of the 80s. Oh, well.
Hey, you know what? As long as we get more of that neo 80s music, like if you guys want to hear a really fucking awesome track, look up The Midnight Vampires on YouTube.
The Midnight Vampires?
Yep.
Well, I better write that down because otherwise I'm just going to forget.
Well, just vampires come out at midnight. That's all you gotta know.
I'm going to forget. It doesn't matter. You're going to say something and I'm going to ask, what the hell did you say? That's pretty much my service.
In one ear, out the other.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I just forget easily.
Sorry, I'm listening to my 80s techno, and this track has some freaking awesome sax. I mean, it's so good. It's so good.
I heard something about sex.
No,
it's the other thing. It's the thing that you blow that makes music, not just the thing you blow.
So I'm just being a pervert. Okay, good to know. Okay, well I have my note out. Can you repeat the title? I mean,
Midnight Vampires.
Sorry.
The link's in the chat to the right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That works.
I feel stupid now.
No, you're not stupid. You're an adorable little cinnamon roll.
What? Apparently I'm the adorable cinnamon roll.
Okay, you heard that. That's good.
No. I think NG's the cinnamon roll. You're the cinnamon roll.
Yeah. It's better than being an asshole.
That's Laughing Man.
Hey.
I wish I could deny that, but
He's well aware of it. Self-awareness is a beautiful thing.
I'm cool with cinnamon roll. I'm quite cool with that.
Oh no, there's a new series on Netflix called Our Souls at Night, and when my dad says it in his Cockney accent, it sounds like he's saying "our souls at night."
So wait, is he just bar hopping to random places that have really bad bars? I think that would be a wonderful TV program.
It's quite a different show, let me tell you that.
Or is it like jumping to gay bars?
I don't think my dad's gay.
He might be interested in weird stuff.
I'll tell you what, his dog is though. His dog is fucking gay. I'll tell you what. No, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not even joking. My dad's dog, right, has been around so many female dogs, and he doesn't give two shits. As soon as he's with my aunts and their male dogs, fucking hell, he's one horny bastard.
I think the dog and my cat will get along great then.
Why? Is your cat gay?
Yes, he keeps helping his brother and the other male cats.
So not only is it a gay cat, it's an incestuous gay cat. Good to know.
Yes.
Woo!
And the porn's right there. Take it all in.
You should call your cats Dean and Sam. Supernatural joke.
No.
Who?
Sam and Dean Winchester from the Supernatural TV series.
Oh.
just do Bert and Ernie.
The original. Wait, weren't they just roommates, not brothers?
They weren't. If they were, Bert and Ernie or Sam and.
No, Sam and Dean are actually brothers. Bert
Yeah, I
and
know
Ernie I
that.
have no fucking clue.
I think Bert and Ernie were just roommates.
Quotes, roommates, just roommates. Yeah.
There's gonna be a Sesame. There's gonna be a Sesame Street episode where it's like, yep, we're gay. We're so gay.
my rubber ducky, Bert.
You dropped a ducky.
I like your pigeon, Ernie.
Did anyone? I think we might have mentioned this in a previous stream, but did anyone see that they brought in an autistic Muppet?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it's called. It starts with a J.
Weren't they all autistic?
Not officially in canon.
I think it's quite nice.
It's quite nice.
You're just making fun of me now.
Julia.
No.
Julia.
Yep.
Didn't they bring in someone who was autistic to Sesame Street too?
Yeah, that's Julia.
Okay.
I don't know if the puppeteer is autistic. That I cannot be 100% sure of.
With the amount of people that are autistic, there is a high chance that she is if not at least mildly autistic, like me.
Hey, they already had a pedophile up Elmo's ass, so
Fucking hell.
there's worse things they
Why?
could bring on Sesame Street.
Damn.
Why? Why'd you have to go there?
Why?
Can you almost smell your genitals?
Fucking hell.
Why?
Anytime you see Elmo doing that thing where he like spazzes out, it's because the guy put his hand up a little too high.
Oh, why?
Elmo's prostate.
Why is your voice so funny?
Yo, where the OCD Muppet at? Where's my representation?
You gotta make your own.
Yeah, gotta make your own Sesame Street
Or
OC.
pay Fubu. Or pay Fubu.
Does anybody remember Grover?
Who's
The blue one with the red nose.
Yeah.
Super Grover. I'm dating myself here.
No, Grover was cool. Oh,
I remember I used to have when I was a kid. I used to have this book, one of those Sesame Street books on how to do stuff, and this one was like how to say no. And what it was is Grover goes to his first day of school and he has a brand new pack of crayons and he has a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and he has a toy that he really, really likes and it's brand new. And he goes over and all these kids are like, "Hey, I'll trade you your crayons for my crayons." And the other kids' crayons are like shit. And it's like, "Hey, I'll trade you your peanut butter jelly sandwich for like some ranky looking sandwich." And, "Hey, I'll trade you your toy for my toy." And Grover can't say no. So he ends up like basically, trading all this good shit away to other kids who are just, taking advantage of him, and he's absolutely miserable. So that if that's one book I could like scrounge up somewhere and like give to like a future child of mine, that's gonna be fucking it. It's gonna be like, listen, you can tell people to fuck right off.
I thought you were going to say it's a book about how Grover got touched in his no-no place.
No, it's Elmo.
He had to just say no.
The book is written by the actual previous Elmo puppeteer, and it says just say maybe.
Nope.
Does anyone remember Scooby-Doo, like back in like I think it was 70s or 80s when it got cancelled? So they brought in a new cartoon called Goober and the Ghost Chasers.
Oh, fuck you!
It was like basically exactly like Scooby-Doo, except that the dog was shit and he turned invisible when he got scared. Oh, and they defeated the monsters by taking pictures of them, so it's basically Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame with an invisible retarded dog.
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
So bad. There's a reason you've never heard of it. It's because it's shit.
It's either that or too young for it.
No, I remember seeing it when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I was deathly ill. And I was over at like a friend's house, and so their mom just put on like this old VHS of like really old, like almost what do you call it, public domain cartoons. And there was like a Popeye where he goes to like the fucking what's the hell the island of the wherever the hell they are, Goonies or the Goons. And then there's that fucking Ghost Chaser one, and I was like, oh, absolute shit. So whenever I think of like Goober and the Ghost Chasers, I actually get like physically ill because it's actually like associated with me being as sick as I've ever been.
Yeah, you weren't sick before you watched it, but you were
afterwards. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. No, it's because when I was younger, I used to love fucking Scooby-Doo. That was my shit. That was my favorite cartoon. Like, not even the ones that came out, just like the old ones. I used to watch that shit. No, the fucking Scooby-Doo movies, right?
Which one?
Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase, right? Scooby-Doo, I can't fucking remember the name, but it's the one where Shaggy and Scooby go to work at an all-girls school, and like all the girls...
Ghoul School!
That one. Yeah.
It's called Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School.
Yeah. And then
describe it, I remember them all.
Yeah. And then you got the one where he's a werewolf, and he has to race with all the monsters.
Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf.
Yeah, that one.
I remember that one.
Where Shaggy has like a red shirt. Like, okay.
And
a girlfriend who never shows up ever again.
I never liked her anyway. I liked Crystal better.
Yeah.
I never liked Daphne. Like, she's always got in the way. Literally, all she ever did was get kidnapped, and then so they in the later ones they had to make her a kung fu master because they're like, all right, we've got to give her something to do because it's getting ridiculous now.
Yeah, no. They try, but she's still useless.
Literally, in the early episodes, all she ever does is get kidnapped.
That's why she married Freddie and became a housewife. Now she just makes sandwiches.
Well, I mean, Velma was the one out there actually doing shit, putting all the clues together.
Yeah, but she's ugly.
She's a lesbian, and she's a good-looking one.
But Matt, she's got the short skirt and the
titties,
and she can't see without her glasses. So if you sexually assault her, she won't be able to report it.
You don't need roofies. You just gotta break your glasses.
Yeah, it's set to go.
Oh no, but I used to watch those when I was younger. But then it got to a point. Have you seen the new Scooby-Doo? They look like fucking Family Guy characters.
Oh, I've seen that. That's awful. I've seen pictures of it, and I'm just like, okay, where's my dad's gun?
I'm not gonna lie, the intro, like the cartoon intro, is pretty cool. The actual character design is just awful. I mean, because the original cartoon characters, they were drawn more realistically. Obviously there were exaggerated proportions in some of them, but it looks more realistic than what the fuck this is. It literally looks like Family Guy.
Well, all I know is that Scooby-Doo started going downhill when the ghosts and shit started turning out to be real.
No, that was a twist. They can only do, it's a guy in a mask for so long.
Yeah, but they could have other people in masks, oh my god, it's John Wayne Gacy.
Oh no.
He's the killer rapist clown.
Oh, there was a fucking that Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. I love that one.
Oh, I love that one.
I love that
I have
one.
to watch it. I've never seen some of it at my cousin's house, and it was kind of tongue in cheek in the beginning, wasn't it?
I think
Fred's putting on his ascot, and he's like, ugh.
I think that was the first movie where they did where it turned out the monsters weren't actually things in masks. They tried to pull off their faces, and they're like, "Oh shit, they're real."
Yeah, that was the first one. The second one was either the witch or the alien. I think it was the alien, and then the witch.
I remember the alien one. I didn't really like, but I liked the witch one. And there was another one. There was another one I vaguely remember with vampires in Australia. I think.
Vampires in Australia. Oh, is that the one where they have the kiss kind of makeup on?
Yeah, I think so. I remember. It's very vague.
Oh, there was also one where they had actual kiss in Scooby-Doo, and I was like, why?
Oh my god, yeah. I was watching some of the
crossovers.
Girls. I went back and watched the crossovers they used to do. They had one with Scooby-Doo and Laurel and Hardy, and Scooby-Doo and Batman, and Scooby-Doo and what were they called? The Addams Family. Jesus Christ. Scooby-Doo and the fucking Harlem Globetrotters. What the fuck?
Oh yeah. Oh, then
Scooby-Doo and Dick Van Dyke. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Go on Google Images and look that shit up. Scooby-Doo, Dick Van Dyke. It's horrifying.
The Three Stooges.
It's the best Dick Van Dyke has looked in years. I'm surprised Dick Van Dyke is still alive, to be honest.
I think he's dead.
So was his wife.
He's not dead. He's still alive and kicking. I think. Let me look this up.
In the meantime, let this picture of Dick Van Dyke haunt your nightmares.
Okay. Sure, I don't get nightmares enough.
Redirecting.
Dick Van Dyke is
not enough.
Dick Van Dyke is still going. He's 91.
It's time to join Hugh Hefner, Dyke.
Yeah, I bet all the feminists are happy about that.
I mean, what's the deal about it? I mean, he gave them homes, and they had a choice, pretty much.
Hey, again, if they were willing adults, what's the problem?
Because no, apparently they don't have a brain to fucking use.
Yeah, any woman that likes sex is just a brainless tool, don't you know?
Oh,
Well,
okay.
exactly. I mean, if they're a
They're
brainless
part of
tool,
the patriarchy.
if they're a brainless fool, and they're not going to get work elsewhere, so what else do you expect them to do? Take
Yeah,
away
some
their
people
only
are so
source of
stupid, all
livelihood?
they can do is fuck.
Exactly.
It's the best thing they do.
And the worst
Oh,
thing
you
is
want
they just
something
perpetuate the
like that?
idiocracy.
I love that movie.
You shouldn't, because it's too close to the truth.
Well, might as well accept it now before I die.
Can we just accept, though, that the best part of the Idiocracy movie is Terry Crews?
Yes, the best part of any movie is Terry Crews. The best part
Yes.
of ever buying like Old Spice deodorant is Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Did you see that meme that that guy keeps a picture of Terry Crews in his wallet so that whenever he
Terry Crews keeps a picture of it in his wallet. Of
yeah,
him.
I know, but it was someone else who did it at first. Then he saw it on Twitter and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that shit from now on too." But basically, he keeps a picture of Terry Crews looking disapprovingly at him, so that every time he opens his wallet to buy stupid shit, his face is just staring at him like, "Don't do it, man."
Yeah.
Oh, I love that meme.
Someone posted a thing on Tumblr that I saw
Yeah.
on Facebook,
Yeah.
and it was like I want Terry Crews and Vin Diesel to be in a movie together where they're both closet nerds, but each one doesn't want the other one to know. They're like cop buddies, but like Vin Diesel will play like D&D on weekends, and Terry Crews is a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and they have an undercover mission at Comic-Con that they both have, and they have to pretend that like they don't see each other, and then they want Daniel Radcliffe to be the villain.
Why?
Just because.
Or, no, it was Elijah Wood playing Daniel Radcliffe as the villain.
Yes.
And then when they were like, there'd be a scene where they're running through Comic-Con and they run into Daniel Radcliffe playing Elijah Wood doing a photo shoot. Which, to be fair, I would pay to see that movie.
I would pay to see it. Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds really funny.
What would the title be?
Well, didn't like The Rock play? There was that one film with The Rock in it where he played a nerdy character and he was with Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Fuck. What the hell was that called? He wore like the pony T-shirts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
He was a brony.
Kinda. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
He was certainly not all mentally there. He was not saying bronies are not all mentally there, but that's true. But
Let me look
God,
it up. It was
yeah,
The
let me look it
Rock
up.
and Kevin Hart. Oh, speaking of The Rock and Kevin Hart, fucking Jumanji.
Jumanji?
Central,
No, the new Jumanji.
Oh,
Central Intelligence.
never mind. Never mind.
Central Intelligence is what it's called. No, the Jumanji movie, right? It looks terrible, but I might have to go watch it just for Jack Black and Kevin Hart. Because they look like they're the best things in the movie.
It probably is.
Jack
They're
Black-
probably the.
Jack Black, for those of you who don't know, like the new Jumanji is supposed to be like a bunch of modern day high school people. So there's like a black basketball player who's like 6'1" or some shit, a nerdy guy, a bitchy pretty girl, and then this average looking nerdy girl. And they get like sucked into a video game, which is the Jumanji game, and like the nerdy guy gets turned into The Rock, and then the 6 foot tall basketball player's turned into Kevin Hart. And then the nerdy girl's turned into Karen Gillan, who's like really hot. And then the pretty girl's turned into Jack Black.
Oh my god.
Okay, I might watch it just for that.
And then you see Jack Black in the trailer acting like a prissy teenage girl, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't even with this place."
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, I'll watch it for that, just to hear him say that.
But the crazy thing is, when I first saw the beginning of that trailer, I was like, "Is this a remake of The Breakfast Club?"
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
Because I mean,
We were actually thinking of making a podcast about like a couple of movie trailers we've seen recently, just because like we have a lot to say about them. Yeah.
Somebody's tired.
I'm sorry, I'm sitting outside and I start to lose my energy.
no, it's fine. We should probably hang this up anyway. It's been 3 hours. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm talked out for once in my life.
Oh my god! Someone mark this down. Someone mark this down.
What?
Laughing Man has nothing to say. It's an
Well, I got
amazing.
plenty to say. I could keep going all night though. I just don't want to. You know, that's why I tell all my ex girlfriends. You know, I mean, I could go all night if I wanted to, but I just want to get this over with quick.
Yeah.
I didn't want to waste your time, baby.
That's what he tells rape victims. Count yourself lucky.
So my trip to Utah was great.
Oh, did you meet Fubu?
Yes, I hugged her in my sugar costume. There you go. Have fun with that image. You've already seen it.
Is that the one that Fubu chewed me out on?
Yes.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Oh, she posted a picture of her in a costume, and I made a prrr sound, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And Fubu's like, "Mate, you dork, this is the Fubu." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell on you." And I'm like, "Whoa."
I'm sorry, I had to. But if you wanted a picture of me, just saying, you can ask.
Aren't you with a boyfriend already?
I can't say. Are you saying I can't flirt with other men?
Yes, that's exactly what we're saying.
That's not. I'm a feminist. I don't care. I really don't. He was there with me. He was pretty much there with me the whole day.
I'm a feminist. I just picture that being like the word underneath, like a picture of a woman with a strap on that says "hate fucking" on it.
Well, apparently, Josh Whedon says that the reason he cheated on his wife a bunch of times was because of the patriarchy. So, you know.
Funny that his ex-wife said the reason why he's such a big feminist cuck is because that's the only way he gets pussy.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
He can enjoy all the morbidly obese, dyed purple pussy he wants.
Ugh.
Not an image I want in my head.
Blue waffle, what?
Wait, what?
Don't look it up.
Kit Kat, go online and look up.
Don't do it.
I already know what blue waffle is.
Oh, NG then. NG, go online and look up blue waffle.
After the last time you told me to go look at a picture, I'm going to
NG.
rightly say fuck you.
NG, don't you trust me?
I trust you. I don't trust him.
Then go look it up.
The answer is no.
Yes, NG, don't. Preserve your innocence.
I
told you it's not innocent denseness.
The only reason I learned is because I learned it from my sister.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of practical advice, and this is not in any way like trying to screw you guys over. Okay, go online and look up the site called someonewhocares.org, right? Now, he has this thing, it's called a hosts file that you can put in your computer. And if you copy and paste all the data inside of that, if someone tries to send you to something like 2 Girls, 1 Cup or Blue Waffle or a bunch of spammy sites or whatever else, right? A bunch of shit on the internet, it'll actively block them so you can't even see it. So someonewhocares.org/hosts.
Why
You're
does it
actually
sound
giving
like a
us-
lie?
Create this site.
No, I'll even give you guys a text file if you guys want to put that in your host file, but I'm 100% legit right now. Someone who.
Well, I mean, it is.
Then I'm hitting enter, and oh my god, what the fuck did I? I'm joking. No, it's serious. It's called "How to Make the Internet Not Suck" (parentheses) as much. There's a link. It even gives you instructions on how to do it if you have Windows computer, Mac, whatever else.
Oh, it also gives you a list of all like the shit stuff.
Yep. Vomit Girl, Whip Crack, Dad Party.
50-50.
Wow, I really didn't know there was this many.
Well, copy and paste them in there and see what you come up with.
No, thanks.
Not only will this help block all lists, all the websites from your browser, but it also gives you some really nasty ideas to send to people you hate. Apparently, there's a website called 3guys1hammer.ws.
Oh no! I know what that is. I know what that is, and it's terrible.
Okay, just
I can send that to somebody.
Fucking awful. Like, no one should. It bothers me that like people can upload that, and like, did they even get caught after doing that?
What's copyright?
Russian guides?
Yeah,
they did get caught.
good, because that's fucking sick, man.
I don't know.
Those 3 guys, 1 hammer, someone getting snuffed.
Yeah.
Yes, and like they're beating the heads, and you see the brain, and he's like twitching, but he's dead.
Okay, yeah, that's fucking shit.
It's a homeless old man and like 3 shit teenagers.
That's fucked up. What's copyright-reform.info?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're all brainless here.
I'm going into hibernation mode. Good night.
And G's like, I'm sick and tired of this shit. I'm out.
I am sick of being sent out to weird ass websites.
And she's like, well, if you'll excuse me, I've got a whole new website full of porn I need to look at.
It's called Tumblr.
I love how every time recently she's been on here, it's like Laughing Man tries to take her to some nasty thing, and she's like, no.
That's because Laughing Man's a perv.
Stranger danger, stranger danger.
No one gets stranger than me, baby.
Yeah, you'd be safer with actual strangers.
Need me to dog sit?
Oh god. Oh, I'm so glad I'm doing this outside. My parents would have probably shot me.
Well, now you got several websites you can post as your new homepages for their browsers.
Oh god, no.
I think I've been hacked by the Russians.
Someone actually did that in my school back when we were in high school. Like, they changed all the home pages for all the computers to, I think it was 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Oh God.
Oh.
I just remember like one of my old roommates was a bit of a motorhead, and I might have told this story before, but he was drunk and he was going up and down the stairs because he had friends on the 2nd floor and we were on the 3rd floor, right? And he and all his friends, those drunk friends, were just bumbling up and down the stairs, up and down and up and down. We were getting sick and tired of it, right? So we go inside his room, turn on his computer, and we find like the most disturbing gay porn picture we could find, and we made it his desktop background. And then we took a screenshot of his entire desktop, icons, taskbar, everything, right? And we took all of his icons and we hid them in a corner, and we pulled the taskbar down so he couldn't like click on any of the icons. And we made that screenshot his new desktop, so it looked like all the icons and everything was still there. And he stumbles back upstairs, and all his friends are all drunk and rumbling in, and he shakes his mouse to shake away the screensaver, and all of a sudden hear, "What the fuck?" And then all of a sudden all his friends are like, "Oh, you gay." And he's like, "Ah." So he's so pissed off, he's like trying to click on stuff, he's trying to turn off his computer, he turns it on, turns it off, turns it on, turns it off. And he gets so pissed off, he like throws himself into his own chair, like falls back into it, and the back of the leg of the chair breaks and he falls over. Oh man, he got owned that night. I mean, it's not nearly as funny as the time where I managed to he has his entire C drive open on the apartment network. So I went in there and I found where the program that restarts your computer was at, and I put it inside of his startup folder. So every time his computer turned on, it turned right back off. Hey, he had to go like, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna get a new computer," because he was kind of a bit of his dad was pretty wealthy, right? And he's like, "I'm gonna get a new computer. Anyone want my parts?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take them."
Jesus Christ, you're an asshole.
I got a decent graphics card out of it.
That is terrible.
That was probably an asshole. It was worth it.
Well, the guy tried to steal my Counter-Strike key and go fuck himself. Anyways, it's been 3 hours and I'm going to hang it up. So
yeah, I got work
thanks for everyone who's lasted this long. Surprised I lasted this long.
I'm surprised too.
I think that's what your girlfriend would say.
Is that a problem you normally have? He's not denying.
Who's snorting? Got a white Steve Urkel in here somewhere.
White and female. It's the new reboot.
Oh God, no. No, don't do it.
She's also paraplegic, so you know you gotta get that victim card in because you know she is white, but you know the white and the female cancel each other out apparently. She's only 20. She's only 25% victim. She has to be at least 30.
So you have to make her like a.
You have to be 20% more victim.
Yep.
Wouldn't they make it a 40?
Anyways.
Really quiet.
Anyways.
I just want to go. Leave me alone.
Laughing Man has to go through that list of porn now.
We know how you decided to hit Saturday night.
Oh my God, what's that guy doing with a piece of roadkill? Oh my God.
I love how he's clearly faking it, but NG acts like he's really doing it.
Hey, NG, what's the worst thing you could possibly think of? Shit, I'm almost out of lotion.
You're an asshole, Laughing Man.
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna haunt your
like
dreams.
Hashtag single life. I'm trying to find a clip on YouTube of a horse neighing, and I'll be like, "Brony confirmed."
No, you're gonna look up the video of Donald Duck getting anally raped
for 3 minutes.
Don't like that Donald Duck video.
I
swear to God, every time I mention that video, you burst out laughing.
It's because it's the funniest shit ever.
They never sent it to
Donald Duck
Kenny.
anally raped for 3 minutes. I'm looking it up.
No. Don't do this.
I thought we were leaving. I thought you were kicking us out.
Found it.
Oh, God damn it.
It's not wild cards until Laughing Man goes full hyena. That should just be the end card for each of these. Just that video.
The best thing is, besides his hind legs kicking spastically in the air as Louis shoves a fucking chimney pipe thing all the way up his ass. The sign to the left says "Keep Out," and the sign above says "Pirates Den."
That's it. I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm gonna die.
Sorry. I'm done here. I don't care. I'm fine.
God.
My sister thinks I'm officially dying.
The top comment says "Definitely my proudest fap."
Is it weird I got a boner while watching this?
It's the Boy Scouts all over again.
It's called doggy style for a reason. Some of that was corny as hell, but I love it.
He's been learning too much from his Uncle Scrooge.
I just looked up Donald Duck anal on YouTube. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Another comment says, "Why did I watch the whole thing?" I'm holding back tears. This video is so powerful.
You should add an NSFW warning. My boss almost caught me with my dick out.
Louis finally goes back after years of sexual torment from his uncle.
Stop it!
This is so hot, it makes me hard by the 1 second mark. I have an anal rape fetish now. Two times the speed is better. Well, I'm gonna set the two times the speed.
Oh.
No, I gotta do it too.
Sorry. Okay, guys, I'm done. Peace.
We're all gonna die here.
I can't breathe.
We're laughing at a cartoon duck getting anally raped.
I had it on mute.
It's funnier without mute. Sounds like someone trying to stir up a moped.
And she left the group.
She couldn't handle it.
The stream is only for the brave. Alright, we all calm down now.
I think that's a good way to end it.
Yeah. See you next time for more anal rape.
Return next month for more anal rape.
You walk into Laughing Man's room and it looks like Randy after the ghost came. It was the spooky ghost.
Ectoplasm.
Oh.
And with that, I think we should end.
We might as well wait 2 more minutes to make it a full 4 hours.
Oh yeah, we might as well watch the whole thing, right?
Shit, I got an instant replay.
You got it on a loop. It's your ringtone.
You go to Laughing Man's house, the second you open the door, that's all you hear. Because it's playing in like the left.
It's his doorbell.
He's pushing it in and out.
He's got a little cuckoo clock, like every hour on the hour, a little Louis comes out and starts raping Donald Duck anally.
And it makes that sound.
Yep.
Solidly been laughing for 10 minutes straight. 1 more minute to go.
I don't know what you guys are laughing at. Rape isn't funny.
But it's cartoon rape. That makes it better.
No, that makes it hentai.
Rape can be funny. Just look at the replay joke we make in the first few minutes of our new video podcast.
Oh yeah, the one that you
accidentally uploaded the whole fucking thing.
He was like, I'm going to export like 2 minutes to show the Patreon people.
The done 2 minutes.
And then you uploaded the whole fucking thing.
And I'm like, oh well, whatever. We're adding more shit anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, it was only for 15 up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only for the slick chosen.
Oh.
The Brotherhood of the Duck Anal.
Oh, we've hit 10 p.m. Good. I think we can end it now.
All right. Yep. 3 hours is too
Good
long.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Of
I will.
Donald Duck getting raped for 3 minutes.